We are live, day 2. Thanks for joining, guys. If you're on the replays, please hit that subscribe button. I'd love to have you on the channel. Definitely comment down below. Hit that like button. First round stream was last night. Wanted to do some coverage for day 2, so hope you guys have a good time here. Let's go. All right, let's get the live chat going. See how many people join. I don't know if notifications will even go out, but we'll see. So, first pick of the second round should be going down in about 10 minutes. Rory, what's going on? Yeah, Rory, there's smoke. Pierre LeBrun mentioned it. I've heard some stuff too. I think there's some smoke. What's up, Hank? Good to see you in the chat. Thanks for joining. What's up, Alexis? Well, Rory, you say it never happens with the Habs. They just got Noah Dobson. So... how's it going, Shelly? Thanks for joining. Roy says this regime continues to cure the PTSD Habs fans from Mark Bergevin. Austin says Tulsi's been quiet, wondering what he's up to. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Carolina makes a trade soon here. Crash says hearing the Sharks are getting offers for pick 33, hoping to take Fiddler. Fiddler would be a good pick. For me, my pick is Malcolm Spence. I'm going to see how far Malcolm Spence drops. But yeah, guys, if you guys could do me one favor, just please hit that like button, hit that subscribe. If you guys want to share with your friends, I really appreciate it. I don't know how long I'm going to be live for, but I obviously, it's always fun to kind of jump on and chat with you guys and give you guys my predictions, opinions, kind of things I'm hearing. So, yeah, we'll get into it a little bit. But I do think we're going to get more player trades today than we did yesterday. I think a lot of teams that got their business done yesterday in terms of selections, I think they're in a good spot to make a trade. We got 40 in the chat. Let's go. Brandon says, what do you think the Kings do today? Well, I think they make their selection, that's for sure. They traded with Pittsburgh, so I think they have, correct me if I'm wrong, I think they have 2 picks in the second round. Maybe just 1, actually. I'm trying to think. They have at least 1 in the second round, I know, after that trade with Pittsburgh. So I think they definitely make that selection. Maybe they trade up, get some excitement going in LA. But I also think that the Kings are looking in the market right now. I hear that Jordan Spence potentially could get moved soon, potentially before July 1. Raphael says, kind of don't want Montreal to take Kyrou. Risky to pay a lot of assets for someone who isn't the center. Fair enough. But yeah, I think Montreal is, I'm hearing they're very interested in Kyrou. But I think Pierre LeBrun was, I think, the first on it. I'll say this. I think Kyrou was more of a potential to Buffalo than people realize. So I think once that happened, I think other teams around the league realized that Kyrou, well, maybe he's not likely to get dealt. The Blues have the door open. Because I believe his no movement clause kicks in July 1st. So we basically have a couple days where I believe Kyrou could get traded. But once July 1st hits, I think Kyrou is going to be in the Blues' plans for next year. Oh my, are you shitting me? The Flames did not just sign Kevin Bahl to that contract. Are you kidding me? There's no way. I'm kind of confused right now. Like, I think Kevin Bahl had a good year, but that's for a guy that's like, how many NHL games has he played? I feel like he hasn't even played like 200. Oh my, I gotta show chat right now, guys. I'm kind of in shock right now. Kevin Bahl. Holy crap. I'm kind of in shock here right now. Are you kidding me? Oh my goodness. That's kind of nuts. I'm not gonna lie. That is kind of nuts. What do we think about this, chat? I'm kind of... I was not expecting Kevin Bahl to sign this kind of contract. 5.35 per is nuts. Wow. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think the term is the reason why it got higher. Because I think they're taking a bet here. I mean, Kevin Bahl is like mid-20s. Does it say how old he is there? Age 24. I think he may have just turned 25. He's 24 or 25. Wow. I think that's kind of nuts. I'm not going to lie. Ari, thank you so much for the dono. Says, you think the Habs are done, John? Who are some potential targets for top 6? Let's get some Ari hype in the chat. Thank you so much for the 7. No, I don't think they're done. I think they're going to make another splash. I've actually had a few Habs friends message me. Yeah, I think Kairu's the one that I'm definitely intrigued on. But I'll throw 2 other names for you guys that I've heard that Montreal's checked in on. Jason Robertson, that's one. And the reason why I think Montreal is actually a perfect fit for the kind of structure, I think actually Toronto is a perfect fit for the structure too. Because while the obvious point for the Toronto perspective is maybe that convinces Nick Robertson to stay in Toronto, and maybe they can work out Nick Robertson in Toronto if Jason Robertson comes. So that's one part of it. But the Montreal answer is Dallas wants that trade to be for futures in this scenario where they go after Mitch Marner. The Stars, as it stands right now, cannot go after Mitch Marner. But I've heard that if they can trade Jason Robertson, then get off the Dumba contract, they would then be able to afford Mitch Marner, potentially. So that is the scenario that's out there right now. Or they trade Jason Robertson for futures and they bring back Mikael Granlund. I don't think the Stars fans are going to be overly ecstatic about that trade-off, but Granlund had a great playoff run, and if you can get legit prospects and picks, which Montreal has, I think Dallas also would love Logan Mailloux as the right shot presence. So if you could package like an Owen Beck, Logan Mailloux, the 2026 first-round pick, maybe even Kirby Dach at a lower cap hit, then the Stars bring back Mikael Granlund, I think you're taking a bet on Dach. If Dach doesn't work out, he gets thrown on LTIR. I also think that trade structure has been talked about with the St. Louis Blues for Kyrou. I don't think that's enough for Kyrou, but I'll put it this way. Habs fans in the chat, and I've asked 2 of my Habs fans this, and they've said yes, they would do this. So to give you guys context, I'm not going to out them, but 2 Habs fans I've talked to in the last 24 hours, they said they would do this trade because I asked them about it. Dach, Owen Beck, Logan Mailloux, and unprotected 2026 first-round pick. Unprotected. Gavin McKenna, folks. I'm just letting you know. Because I'll say this. That's a game of chicken a little bit because the St. Louis Blues might feel, I don't know, they might feel like they could or should do it. Because I look at what happened with the Islanders this year. The Islanders were nowhere near the high odds of getting the first overall pick. The Islanders at one point looked like they were going to make the playoffs, folks. So they go from almost making the playoffs or being close to being in the playoff picture to then getting the first overall pick and selecting Matthew Schaefer. So all I'm saying is any team's 2026 first round pick, unprotected, that is in around the bubble of playoffs or lower, has a lot of value behind it. So Richard Clay, I know he's saying pass. But I'm just saying, it's intriguing. All right, Darkness, that's fair. But that 2026 first-round pick would be valuable. But yeah, Rory, I'm saying that trade package has been talked about, I think, in some regard. Like the Owen Beck and Logan Mailloux package. I think Kirby Dach by default would probably be in there for some cap going back the other way. If Montreal acquires another top 6 forward, I think Kirby Dach's no longer in the picture with this team. And then I think the 2026 first-round pick would have to be in play, unprotected, for one of those teams to be in play. So that's kind of what I'm hearing a little bit. The third player, sorry, I didn't mention the third player for Montreal. That would be Jonathan Marchessault. So I do believe Montreal probably checked in on it. I think there's been some insiders that have put it out in the air. And sometimes when they do that, it's kind of funny because I've heard this happen so many times in the industry is insiders or like journalists actually put ideas in general managers' heads. So that I think happens a little bit sometimes. That's why sometimes I'm like yelling into the universe. I'm like, Brad Treliving, please do this. In the hope that like his dad, Jim Treliving, or somebody sees it up high. Just somebody. Literally, it could be anyone. It could be, because I've heard some crazy stories. Like I've heard things from like the New York Rangers, like James Dolan, like his PR person seeing some stuff about Rangers fans and Rangers people putting things out there. I've heard like Mark Bergevin used to see stuff online. Like I've heard some crazy stories. So I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that the Montreal Canadiens could look at Jonathan Marchessault from Nashville. I think Nashville's open to a move there. So we'll see. And I think Nashville's also open to maybe taking some chances. So I think they could look at maybe a Kirby Dach and frankly, Owen Beck is the type of player that Nashville's trying to build around. Not build around, like build those type of players. Sorry, not build around Owen Beck. Build those type of players. So they just drafted Brady Martin, player with a bit of edge. They already have Zachary Leroux. They have Reed Schaefer. They have a few guys that are like that play with a bit of edge. So I just think like Nashville likes that style. Owen Beck, I'm watching him play with the Steelheads and then watching him play for the Petes. He played with an edge. And you've seen that with Laval as well. So I think Owen Beck plays that style. So there's some teams that would definitely like Owen Beck as part of that package. John Manziel, thank you so much for subscribing. All right, guys, it is 12 p.m. Thank you so much to the 300 people already in this live stream. You guys are amazing. I didn't know what kind of numbers to expect. I know there's probably less people streaming on day 2. Like I said, I'm not going to be live till like deep hours into the afternoon, but I'm going to be live here for the second round, and then we'll see how people are doing. What's up, Matt? I'm going to read more comments, so if I missed you guys, please get back into the comments. Darkness, exactly, right? Then you have Snuggerud, you have Carbonneau, you have some scoring wingers there. Darkness, I'm telling you right now, I think any unprotected first-round pick that could be in the top 15 next year, like in terms of probability, is so valuable. Because then, as it gets closer to the deadline, right? If Montreal is out of the playoff picture and the Blues are in the playoff picture and they want to dangle that pick for maybe a big piece before the deadline, again, that pick would have a lot of value, a stupid amount of value. So either way, I think if Montreal was willing to dangle that unprotected 2026 first-round pick, I think some of those teams would be engaged. But as I said, in terms of players that Montreal could trade, keep an eye on those names I just mentioned. Kirby Dach, Owen Beck, Logan Mailloux. Cameron Edwards, thank you so much for subscribing. You guys are amazing. Thank you. I know we're getting closer and closer to 60,000 subscribers, and I really appreciate every single one of you guys' support. You think Malcolm Spence falls to the third round, Zora? That is a crazy hot take. I like it. Martin Surin and Zachary Leroux are going to be a problem. Snowman Dan, thank you for the 2. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Nashville's building those type of players, guys. I'm telling you. Nashville watched what Florida did this year, and they're going to continue building that style. I really think so. 330 in the chat. Atlas's hot take, Isles get Rossi today. Wow. That is a hot take. I could see Marco Rossi being traded today. I could see it. Hey, Mark Howard, thanks for listening in from work. Izzy, Dominic, Marvin, Matt's in here. We got some Blues fans in here. Nico says thoughts on Oilers. Yeah, guys, go watch my final free agent prediction video if you haven't yet. I'll give you guys the sneak peek, and I hope you guys go watch the video. I do have Oilers going to Carolina. I've doubled down on that take. I would like to say I don't know if I actually saw a couple other people saying Oilers to Carolina like in the last couple days, and I'm like, I feel like I was saying that months ago, you know? So I wonder where people got that idea is all I'm going to say. I do know by like default, Carolina's got a lot of cap space and they're going to be targeting the big fish, but there's a lot of other big fish there. Like Brock Besser's in there, right? Like Mitch Marner's in there. Like a lot of other names are in there. But I just think that Nikolai Ehlers, I've heard some stuff, and I also think where there's smoke, there's fire. Ragazi, thank you so much for subscribing. Excited to see where Simon Wang gets drafted from SK93 in the chat. Yeah, you know what? I think for me, there's a couple interesting teams. I'll pull this off now. Kevin Bahl, again, guys, if you didn't see it, 6-year deal, $5.35 million cap hit. That's a bit rich. It's a bit rich for me. But we'll see. 6'6" defenseman. He had a good year with the Calgary Flames. Clearly, they see him as a top 4 solution for them on that left side. I also think Kevin Bahl's camp probably used a little bit of leverage there because the Flames don't have a crop of a lot of left shot guys, more right shot right now. So they've also drafted a lot of right shot recently with like Brustevich, Zane Parekh. I'm probably missing somebody, but Sarah Small, what's going on? Do you think Doug Armstrong's asleep? CK in the chat. You think Oilers LA? Yeah, Minka, thanks for joining. Yeah, that Schaefer moment was definitely emotional, and yeah, Matthew Schaefer's going to be organizational difference maker for the New York Islanders. Wow, chat. Can we get 400 hype in the chat? Let's go. 400 viewers in here. Midlife, thank you so much for subscribing. Hayden Fleury, thank you, Zora. Resigns. Stacy says, I'm here with my fingers crossed for the OHL playing nephew. Lev. Guelph Storm represent, right? Put some good vibes out there for him if you're so inclined. Thank you, Stacy. I hope you're subscribed. If not yet, Stacy, it's free to subscribe. I'll definitely, I think I talked about Lev a little bit. I think he played for the Guelph Storm this past year. I'm just checking. I'm making sure I'm thinking about the right prospect here. Yep, he played on the Guelph Storm. Yeah, I watched him play a couple times this year. Good little player. And Stacey, I know he's your nephew, so I'm going to be kind here. But also give a reality check. Some of these teams sometimes are hesitant to pick an undersized player, right? So I think his name's popped up throughout the year. I think based on his production, I'm looking at it right now, he had a point per game in the Ontario Hockey League. Usually those players really don't fall past the 3rd round. So he's going to be drafted today, no doubt about it, in my eyes. I would think he's drafted somewhere in the 3rd round if I had to make a prediction. But maybe sooner. Maybe sooner. But yeah, like a point per game in the OHL, I just can't see how he's not drafted today. I don't want to give false hope, but I think he'll be drafted today. Grilled Cheese, thank you so much for subscribing. Oh, I know, Minka. Yeah, and I'm always very empathetic and sorry for your loss, Minka, and I hope the hockey community continues to be an outlet for you. Carol, it's starting right now. The 2nd round is starting right now. They're just doing a little bit of a discussion. Sharks are on the clock, though. Or about to be on the clock, I guess. Yeah, across the net. It looks like the Sharks are getting offers for sure. But thank you again, Snowman, for the donation. We got 450 in the chat. Nomad, it is starting. I see people in their seats. The start time was 12 p.m. listed on NHL.com as well. So unless I'm tripping, I think that's what's about to happen. Yep, day 2 starts now. So the official announcement from the Calgary Flames. Wow, that's heavy, man. That's a heavy price.
Day number 2 is Malcolm Spence. I cannot believe he did not go in the first round. We were very high on him from a data standpoint, even higher than this this NHL Network draft rank at 24th. His playmaking, his puck carrying, his scoring, so many impressive elements to his game. Played in the area.
Yeah, so they're talking about Malcolm Spence. A little bit of a comp for him is Adrian Kempe. Man, I think for me, like, guys, I watched Malcolm Spence a few times this year. I really don't know how he fell out of the first round. There's got to be something I don't know about. I'm not trying to just speculate and just make things up, but is it a character thing? Is it a skating concern? I know there was conversations about his skating a little bit, but then I watched him, like, drive the net multiple times this year, and I'm like, bro, this guy's got it, man. This guy's got it. So I think it's an undeniable skill set, undeniable size. He's already over 200 pounds, guys. He's an NHL caliber, like, size and frame, and he's got the skill set. Evan Pop, thank you so much for the $5 dono. It says, is Seattle going to trade one of their all center team? I love the dono. Yeah, Evan, honestly, you know what? It's a great question, and thank you so much for the donation. I truly think there's a possibility that Shane Wright's on the block all of a sudden. I don't think they're going to trade Matthew Beniers. I'm sure if they got blown away with an offer, they would consider it. But when I look at their center crop right now, I think there's a potential of them moving Shane Wright. I really, really think there's a possibility. After signing Chandler Stevenson last year, to, of course, now drafting Jake O'Brien. To me, Jake O'Brien's a natural centerman. I think he's probably a couple years away, if I'm being honest about OB. Like, I think he's probably going to be ready by the 20... I could see him playing some games in the 26-27 season, but probably by 27 he'll be ready.
Introducing the first superhero-inspired hockey trading card set, the 2025 DC Fanimation crossover. Collect hockey players sporting uniforms inspired by DC superheroes exclusively on UpperDeckEPAC.com. Set up your free account today and add to your collection.
Now is your chance to share, trade, collect, and complete quests with hockey fans around the world and get rewarded when you play. Start your NHL video collection today.
All right, we got almost 600 in the chat. You guys are amazing. Sorry, I was just responding to a text. Somebody sent me a very interesting text about what the Sharks could do here. Happy Saturday to you as well, Lucas. What's up, Dalton? Yeah, Minka. Guys, if you haven't watched it yet, I'll just I'll pull it up right here. I gotta start marketing my videos better because I feel like people are always asking me questions on live streams and reaching out to me, and I'm like, I'm pretty good with answering people. So, but I just feel like this one's like a 5-minute video. So in my opinion, I feel like people should go watch it because it actually gives my thoughts completely. So if you guys haven't watched it yet, my notifications aren't going out because I did a lot in the last 24 hours, so notifications aren't going out for videos and streams right now, but obviously this stream got recommended for you guys because you guys are searching up coverage for day 2, which I'm very thankful you guys clicked on this live stream. But to look at this right now, guys, this is the video I posted on the channel. NHL Draft 2025 rant, bring back centralized. So go watch that video if you could, please. It's a video on this YouTube channel right now. I literally just go 5 minutes rant about how much I dislike the decentralized draft. It was the team's decision in terms of voting, but Gary Bettman and the NHL need to step in and kibosh it. It can't happen next year. That's my opinion. Let's see. Philly fan says, who are the best players available for day 2? So I'll go Malcolm Spence. For me, he's up there. Blake Fiddler, 6'5", right shot defenseman from the Edmonton Oilers Kings. That's another one. Wozniak's another one. Right wing, great natural shooter. I think he is one of like the better shooters in this draft, with decent size too. And I had him as a late first round pick. So Wozniak, Blake Fiddler, Milton Gastrin could be another good pick. I have in my notes. The next goalie for me on my list would be Jack Ivankovic. He is moving to NCAA, but had a great year with the Steelheads the last couple seasons as well. I guess Cameron Schmidt hasn't been drafted yet, right? Cameron Schmidt's a really good talent. It's just another player that's undersized, so he might get passed on here a few times. But that's kind of where my head's at. I had Malcolm Spence going top 20, and he's still available. So to me, Malcolm Spence has got to get drafted here like ASAP. And I'm looking at the picks, obviously, coming up. I'm looking at San Jose. They could pick Malcolm Spence. I'm looking at a team like Nashville, who has had a lot of picks, obviously. So maybe they could get a good value pick here. I'm also looking at a team like Carolina. I mean, Carolina always gets some sneaky picks, usually in the second round. But then, and this is where I would really I might go nuts if this happens. Washington picks at 37, chat. Washington already got Lyndon Lakovic. If they get Malcolm Spence too with their draft positioning, I might go nuts. Like, truly, I might go nuts. The Capitals will be one of the big winners of this draft weekend if they get Malcolm Spence at 37. So, yeah, Rick, the Caps could get Malcolm Spence based on how it's going. So I think there's some good talents that the teams before that could pick, as I just mentioned, Milton Gastrin, Cameron Schmidt, some of the big defensemen that are on the board, like Simon Wang and Blake Fiddler. Check Bruce Garrioch. All right, I'll do that. Oh! Breaking news! Thank you, Minka. The Ottawa Senators are acquiring... I don't know why I'm not following them on this account. This is my personal account. The Ottawa Senators are acquiring Jordan Spence from the LA Kings. This could be... Wow. Wow. I wonder who this is for. We got some breaking news, chat. We got some breaking news. See, guys, I told you. Trade Tracker, we're on it. Thank you, chat, for pointing me towards it as well. The Sens are closing in on the deal for Jordan Spence. So it's not complete yet, but Bruce Garrioch, we know he's in tune with what's going on in Ottawa. David Arthur, thanks for always being here. We got 600 in the chat. Let's see what it's for. I'm gonna try to message a couple of my Ottawa guys right now. All right, finally the picks are being made. Holy shit! Like, took forever, man. Like, hurry up with these picks, man. I'm telling you right now, every round should be done in 40 minutes, 30, 40 minutes, max. It should be quicker than that. Definitely involving a pick, I would think. All right, San Jose's on the clock, chat. I'm trying to find out the Jordan Spence trade details here.
Jason, take us through this. If you're the Sharks, you've done all your prep at this point, right? You know exactly who you're taking here with this first pick in round 2.
But yeah, guys, the Sens getting another right shot defenseman is big, right? Like, of course, they acquired Nick Jensen. They have Zub on that right side, and now they have Spence. I would imagine Spence is a potential to be partnered with Jake Sanderson.
Right now in their prospect pool, obviously adding what they added yesterday in Michael Misa, and then you look at Will Smith, and on the back end they have players at every position, and uniquely they drafted Ravensburger yesterday. It was a right shot or a right catching goaltender, and they got Asker up there, so they might be one of the few NHL teams someday that have 2 right catching.
I hate how it actually, guys, should I just go nuts and rant? I hate how drawn out this draft is, man. It's actually pissing me off. It's actually driving me nuts right now.
They fit in with some of the young talent, the up-and-coming core that they have there in celebrating Will Smith.
I was already turned off last night. We're 12-16, and we haven't seen the first pick of the second round yet. Here we go. Sharks, finally. There you go. There you go, the beast. First pick, Oshawa Generals represent.
All right, so
Simon Wong going to the Sharks. 6'6". Beast. Born in Beijing. This is going to be a bit of a project, but I like this project for the Sharks. They've got some big defensemen in their core. 6'6", 222. He's got some mobility. He's one of the younger guys also in this crop. 17 years old. There you go. We got over 700 people to chat. I had him going late in the first round. And the NHL data comparison is Alex Vlasic. So it's funny because, like, oh, a trade alert. All right, this is what we want. W's in the chat.
Number 34 and 189 in the 2025 NHL draft to the Montreal Canadiens in exchange for picks number 41 and 49.
Wow, Montreal trades to 34. The Habs have moved up, chat. Montreal is trading to 34 in Carolina's spot. Who are they going to pick? Oh, wow. Montreal. No way, man. If Montreal gets Malcolm Spence, they are the winners of this draft. I'm not even joking. After getting Noah Dobson, oh my goodness. If Montreal gets Malcolm Spence in the second round, that is literally a first-round talent, and they got Noah Dobson anyways. Oh my God, bro. Montreal could be the winners of this draft. Or one of the winners. I'm over-exaggerating a bit. But if they get Malcolm Spence with this pick, I cannot believe... I will be going nuts. Of course the Habs get Malcolm Spence. So we'll keep an eye on the Jordan Spence being traded to the Ottawa Senators. Montreal selects. Zorowski. I heard he's a good high ceiling potential, but I'm shocked they didn't pick Malcolm Spence there. Okay, I like this speed, though. Chat, W's to this speed. W's to this day 2 speed.
The associate director of amateur scouting with the Montreal Canadiens. He's a Russian gentleman, and he's tuned into what's going on over there. This is a fantastic pick. Let me tell you, he's 6 foot. He's over 6 foot 1.
So I had Zorowski going in my second round, I believe.
When this kid puts on weight, guys, he plays in traffic. He spins off checks. He is an elite, another layer of Russian.
Yeah, I had him going to the Flyers pick coming up. So I had Alex Zorowski going to the Flyers coming up. Montreal trades up to get him. Now Nashville's pick. This speed is great. W's in the chat.
The Nashville Predators have selected Jacob Rumbach.
There you go. Rombach was another guy I had pegged in my second round.
Tony, going to the Nashville Predators with pick 35.
The Philadelphia Flyers are next up.
SHL gets a pick in here for the Lincoln Stars.
Oh my God. The Preds always pick from the... they always pick from the NCAA or USHL. I swear, man. I know in their first round pick they didn't. But Rombach, big defenseman. I believe he's like 6'4", 6'5". Let's see. I know he's a big boy. 6'6". Wow. So 2 6'6" defenseman guys go in the second round here. Jacob Rombach from Minnesota, 6'6". And Simon Wong just went 6'6" as well. I think that's a good pick for the Preds. But Malcolm Spence still on the board, and the Capitals are going to probably get him, bro. The Capitals can't keep getting away with this, chat. They cannot keep getting away with this. Thank you, Gear Moose, for the $2 dono. Since you're the best, I wish I could give a larger donation. No, you never have to give a larger donation. I just love the fact that you're here, and I appreciate you. And here's the thing, guys. If everyone in this chat, I'm just talking to you guys here. This is the hockey channel. I grind. I'm working like 5 different jobs, guys. I'm jumping all over the place. I literally flew from Nashville yesterday just to get here in time to cover the NHL draft. So I hope you guys can hit that subscribe button. It's free. You don't have to sign up for anything. You don't have to subscribe and pay for anything. You hit that subscribe button, and it's just supporting the channel. It boosts the algorithm, and you guys will be able to follow it on your YouTube page. And if you put notifications on, you get notified to your phone when I post or go live. If you guys could do that, if you're a hockey fan, I really appreciate it. And then just maybe hit the thumbs up. That's free to do so as well. And yes, I'll be live on free agency on July 1st. Come on. There's no way all it took was the 67th pick. Oh my Are you kidding me? The Ottawa Senators got Jordan Spence for pick 67 in a 6th round pick.
and live up to their potential.
How did he not go for more than that?
And Brownback was certainly one of those players, along with a lot of the other players that we're going to be talking about.
I actually... That is such a steal for the Ottawa Senators. If you're a Sens fan, you got to be
He knows he has to
going nuts.
killer. He knows he's got to win his face-up. And when guys can understand that,
Hey, washed mime with the 5. Thank you so much for the donation. Says, thoughts on the Wings taking Bear, and what do you think they'll do in the 2nd round? Thank you so much. Yeah, I think it was a good pick. I thought maybe they would go defenseman and go forward in the 2nd round, but now I'm thinking they might go the opposite. But I just keep saying, like, if Malcolm Spence is available, guys, I'm going to be a Malcolm Spence, like, fan guy, like, now. Because I'm just like, what is happening? How is he dropping this much? I watched this guy multiple times this year. I don't know what the issue is. What am I missing? But, yeah, I think Detroit could go defenseman now this time. If I had to make a prediction, Blake Fiddler would make a lot of sense for Detroit. Maybe, in terms of size in comparison to what they have. So we'll see. They have Johansson and Edmonton on the left side. Sider on the right side. Maybe they add a physical, big right shot defenseman like Fiddler. If Fiddler doesn't fall, I had them picking Nathan Bem in the 2nd round. And the reason I picked Nathan Bem is got a lot of good feedback on him in the WHL. He scored 31 goals in 59 games. And Emmett Finney, who had a great year with Kamloops and played a bit with Grand Rapids towards the end of the year, he's teammates with Nathan on Kamloops. He was a draft pick in 2023 for the Detroit Red Wings. So keep an eye on Nathan Bem because I'm sure Detroit's seen him. But if they want to go defenseman over forward, I give you a couple of picks as well. So I hope that helps. Thank you so much for the donation.
I'll double down on what Tony was saying there, and this is fascinating to me. That I was just listening to how you describe that when you're recruiting kids, because for me as a scout, when I go into Wisco and I watch Tony's teams, and if I'm looking at a player, I want to know if he came in as a recruit to be a top 6 guy, but he's made the adjustment. Now he's got a B game. Now he's evolving, right? He's telling me something that he's going to be flexible.
Wow, I can't believe Jordan Spence.
Really important as they evolve.
It's crazy.
It's a world game.
Thank you, Gear Moose, for subscribing. Robbie Robertson, Joseph, thank you guys for subscribing. Marshall Davis, thanks for being here. Mark with the C, there is nothing better than hockey. So it looks like there's going to be a trade for this next pick because it hasn't been announced yet. And we were in a good movement. We were in good momentum there. Yes, and I am correct. The Flyers, folks, have traded. So Seattle's trading a couple spots up. Clearly they want somebody. Maybe it's Malcolm Spence.
Elliot, where are you? That guy's better looking than me. I would tell you this. We have a deal coming up here. Jordan Spence, the young Kings defenseman, who kind of, I don't know if he'd asked for a trade, but they kind of realized.
So Jordan Spence to Ottawa, as I just broke to you guys.
The Ottawa Senators for the 67th pick this year and a 6th round.
But shout out to Bruce Garriott. He was on it first.
Colorado pick that Ottawa owns is going to.
So as I said, guys, Seattle is trading up to the Philadelphia pick. Philadelphia will trade 2 spots down to get better draft compensation later on.
The trade alerts to Bill Daly at the stage.
As you may have suspected, we have a trade to announce. The Philadelphia Flyers have traded draft picks number 36 and 68 in the 2025 NHL draft.
Rob G, thank you for subscribing. George, Ben, thank you for subscribing.
Number 38 and number 57 in the 2025 NHL draft. That means the Seattle Kraken are now on the clock.
All right, so that is what we were waiting on. So you have the Flyers trading back, trading picks 36 and 68 to Seattle. Seattle now on
LA getting the Ken Holland experience early. There you go, Snowman. We got 900 people in the chat, guys. Can we get some W's for all of you guys hanging out with me on this Saturday afternoon? Love you guys.
The guy we wanted in this spot isn't here, so
All right, let's see if Seattle picks.
more picks later on, or what goes into thinking of trades like this?
Yeah, so they have a run of guys on their list right now. I'll call it even 10 deep here, Tony. And one of these guys, this is what's happened to me in the past. Jason Robertson was picking 1 pick ahead. I'll let you go to the pick.
With the 4th pick in the 2nd round, the Seattle Kraken have chosen Blake Fiddler.
Blake Fiddler. That's a good pick, bro. Seattle is killing this draft. Seattle, guys, I had some Kraken fans tell me they were really disappointed in this draft so far. This is a killer pick. This is a great, great pick. Talk about another team that loves their big defensemen, Seattle. Whether it's Alexiak, Adam Larson, go down the list. They get 6'5", right shot beast. Blake Fiddler, son of former NHLer. Ryan, thanks for subscribing. That's a great pick for Seattle. A spectacular pick. Texas represent as well. Chris, thanks for subscribing. That is a spectacular pick for the Seattle Kraken. Guys, we are 10 subscribers away from 56.4K. We're almost there. We're getting closer and closer. Ben, thanks for subscribing. Wow, that's a great, great pick. Little description from my guy Stephen Ellis gets into it. He says 6'4". I think he's 6'4", 6'5", probably halfway between. We know that these NHL players or prospects always want to jump their height by a picker. Oh my God, they went quick with that one. Who did Washington pick? Milton Gastrin. That's a great pick. Oh my God, the Capitals still get a steal. Milton Gastrin was a late first-round pick for me as well. Wow. But yeah, Fiddler eats up minutes, long story short. Great pick. Wow, that's a great pick for the Caps. Like, I think... So he just said it, what I was about to say. To me, he's a middle six, bit of edge, all type of player. Secondary offense, Caps pick Milton Gastrin. I think this is a great pick. I don't want to put anything in the air about Malcolm Spence, but there's got to be something, chat. I'm not like, I hate it. I hate it in the industry when there's false speculation or random speculation. But I am really getting to the point going, how is this possible? See if the Flyers get him. Wow, another massive defenseman, Amico. Oh my goodness, like big defenseman after big defense, like Jacob Rombach, Wong, Fiddler, and Amico. This guy, another beast. I think he's like 6'5" again. Bro, the 6'5" defensemen are dropping like flies right now. So Carter Amico to the Philadelphia Flyers. So, I think the best part about like drafting a big defenseman and having confidence in it, DNL71, thanks for subscribing, is if they have the size and they're mobile, it's so exciting. And Amico showed that at the USA Hockey level and throughout the season. He showed he's got some mobility with his 6'5" frame. Right shot aspect. I think the Flyers are going to eat that up. And we got to trade. The Buffalo Sabres have traded their pick, chat. Here we go.
We have another trade to announce. The Buffalo Sabres have traded pick number 39 in the 2025 NHL Draft and Connor Clifton.
Oh!
Pittsburgh Penguins in exchange for Connor Timmins and Isaac Bellavo. Pittsburgh is now on the clock.
What just happened? They got off the Clifton contract, but they traded a high second-round pick. What? 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 What are the Sabres doing? I'm so confused. I don't know how to feel about this trade. I think that's a fleece for Pittsburgh. I think that's a W for Pittsburgh. I'm trying to think on the fly. It's so hard to react to these trades on the fly. I feel like this is a W. I'm tripped, but I feel like this is a W for Pittsburgh. Why would you trade the 39th overall pick if you're Buffalo? Bro, this is like when they traded the second round pick for I just want to see what Pittsburgh does here. Peyton Kettles. I've heard some great things. Another WHL represent. I'm just trying to wrap my head around this trade, chat. I got to look at Isaac Beliveau. I'm not going to lie. I need to learn more about Isaac Beliveau before I fully analyze this trade, because I don't know too much about him.
It's really interesting. So this is an example of your list is starting to fall, and we better get our...
Clearly, Buffalo thinks Connor Timmins is something still.
I don't know what's going on, fellas.
Yeah, like Isaac Beliveau was ECHL last year. He's 22. He was a 5th-round pick in 2021, so not much of a factor in this trade. So I still stand pat what I said. I think this is a fleece by Pittsburgh. If Peyton Kettles turns into anything good, we're going to look back on this trade and go, but another big defenseman. I don't think he's as big as the ones prior, but I think he's like 6'4". Actually, he's listed at 6'5" as well. The big defensemen are flying off the board, chat. We got 1,000 in the live. I know, Ian. I'm sorry there's yelling. Would you guys... Okay, I'll move my mic away or stop yelling. What do you think, chat? Yes to yelling or no to yelling? Do we want the hype or less hype? Let me know. Jack Murtaugh's a good pick for Philly. Wow, Philly's doing well in this draft. Philly's doing really well in this draft.
A winger from the NTDP scored a goal in both games of the 2024 CHL USA Prospects Challenge.
Wow.
He's committed to Boston University. Yeah, and that's that power forward type of guy that we're kind of talking about. You talked about the size.
Wow.
We're talking about a power forward, not quite that 6'6" range, just over 6 feet, but he's heading to BU. He's a big winger that can get down and crack the net and drive well. He might, you know, I'm going to say an old name in Clark Gillies, but he drops his shoulder.
So Connor Clifton is going to the Pittsburgh Penguins. Connor Timmins to the Buffalo Sabres. Those are the NHL players that are on the move.
To the net really hard. I think he knows that part of the game. That part of the game I'd like to see him a little bit more willing to stand in front of that with screens and tips. And it's not bad, but I think there's a room for improvement there. So I think he's got a big upside.
Yeah, I agree with that. I do think he should stop in that area a little bit more.
I'll put the positioning on the next to the players so people know.
First round of the Vancouver Canucks. There's not a massive drop off to Jack Murtagh. This is a fantastic pick by Philly. Like, they are going to be a hard out, boys. A hard out when this team all comes together here with these youngsters.
Oh my God, John Gibson traded? John Gibson, goalie, traded from the Anaheim Ducks to Detroit. Oh my! It's finally happened! Oh, you would think Mrazek or... We'll see. Oh, finally Detroit gets their goalie. It could be a new era for the Yzerman plan.
With the 9th pick in the 2nd round, the Carolina Hurricanes have selected Semyon Frolov.
Goalie! Wow, the Hurricanes just picked Frolov. Another goalie off the board.
A goaltender from Togliatti in the NHL. Jason Frolov's current contract in Russia runs through the 2026-27 season.
Yeah, not worried about that. It's okay. He's going to be on the clock a little longer over there. Goaltender's taking
Wow.
He is a bigger body compared to the other goaltender. Well, Ravensburger is a big
6'3".
But for Russians here, this guy, he's wiry, he's athletic, and I think he's the best goalie coming out of Europe. I really do.
Wow.
Pick by them. It is interesting, isn't it? Carolina's trade.
Wow, chat.
And then they land on a goaltender. But having said that, watch for that run of goaltenders that we were talking about in the pregame.
We got 1,000 in the live stream, guys. You guys are nuts. Thanks for being here.
Now they might get into some goaltenders here, fellas.
The Islanders now officially on the clock.
So we're trying to wait for the details for John Gibson.
Those first-round picks, my goodness.
But John Gibson is headed to the Detroit Red Wings.
Over the moon with how day one went.
Okay, Elliot Freeman just followed up on what he said. It's Peter Mrazek, as I mentioned. I've heard recently that Peter Mrazek was going to get flipped again, which is crazy. He literally just got reacquired by Detroit. It's 2 picks. We don't know what picks. This guy's commenting, what is Yzerman doing? John Gibson's a clear upgrade over Peter Mrazek. Let's not get it twisted. Like, anyone that thinks John Gibson's washed, like, I'm sorry. He's got a little bit more left in the tank. He's been playing for Anaheim for quite a few years in the bad stretches of Anaheim.
Unbelievable young man. His dad, Todd, brother Johnny, played in the OHL. So
Wow.
I shed a tear. There's no
It's a busy day. I said we were going to get more player trades, chat. We've already got 3. We haven't even got through the 2nd round, and we already have 3 player trades.
2nd round, the New York Islanders select Daniel Prokhorov.
Prokhorov. There you go. Another guy that I thought was going to get drafted in the 2nd round.
All right, so Daniel Prokhorov going to the New York Islanders. He's a winger out of Dynamo St. Petersburg of the NHL.
There you go.
The season with a flourish.
Daniil Prokhorov.
regular season games.
Here we go. These are the types of, I don't want to call it risk,
So,
but it is a little bit of risk. Like, they can take these types
this
of
is
big
probably a
risks
bit of a
here.
project.
Fascinating guys in the second unit.
And 6'6". I actually thought the Flyers might snag him to be a bit of a power forward on the line with Mitchkov. But definitely a shooter. I think the concerns were the skating ability here, so we'll see. But 6'6", you can't teach 6'6", 220 pounds. And the Rangers have traded their pick potentially. Let's see.
We have a trade to announce. The Los Angeles Kings trade Jordan Spence to the Ottawa Senators.
Okay, so not related to this pick.
For pick number 67 in the 2025 NHL draft and Colorado's 6th round pick in the 2026 NHL draft, which had been previously acquired by Ottawa.
Wow. John Gibson to the Red Wings. But Jordan Spence announced right now, officially, we already knew about it, but traded to the Ottawa Senators from the LA Kings. The New York Rangers are on the clock. A lot of movement happening right now, chat. John Gallagher, thanks for subscribing.
It seems his name has been in trade rumors forever. That's finally coming to an end. He's being traded to the Detroit Red Wings. In exchange,
There you go, that's the full trade.
is going to the Ducks and 2 picks. I don't think they're in this draft.
And we have officially 1K. 1K in the chat. 1K.
By the way, that Spence deal with LA and Ottawa.
Oh, they just announced that the Rangers have drafted Malcolm Spence. The New York Rangers have drafted Malcolm Spence. That could be the steal of the draft. Whatever character concerns or whatever there were concerns, I don't know. I'm not speculating. But Malcolm Spence at that spot in the second round is a huge, huge get for the Rangers. Wow.
At the 2023 Hlinka Gretzky Cup, he scored the golden goal for Canada in the gold medal game against Czechia.
Wow. I really don't know how he fell this. He's almost 200 pounds. 6'1", power forward.
And everything that Cal's projected there, bang on. There's absolutely no question. He plays fast. He's got size. He's got tenacity. He can
Tenacity, size, speed. I know his skating quality has been talked about, but I just don't get it, man. I think the Rangers get a massive steal here.
times his A game wasn't present and his B game fell off for me, and that to me is why an NHL franchise takes.
I know Jack Longley. I'm not sure what it is, to be honest.
We need you to be better on your B game on your worst days, and that's potentially why here. But his best shift is top 6.
So Matthew Schaefer from the Erie Otters going to the New York Islanders, and Malcolm Spence from the Erie Otters going to the New York Rangers. So, little rivalry. Mike S., I had Malcolm Spence ranked as, I believe, my 20th best prospect. I had him going in the first round. So, yeah, the fact that he fell to 43 for me, it's not like a crazy, insane drop. Like, it's probably about 20 spots from where I think he should have been drafted. But it's still a drop. Like, I think he should have been easily a first-round pick. Like, no doubt about it. Like, it's not one of, there's a couple picks that dropped. Like, for example, Blake Fiddler, Milton Gastrin could have been a late first-round pick. They dropped to the second round.
Red Wings select Eddie Genborg from Linköping
Did they pick Genberg?
in the Swedish League.
I didn't hear him properly. I guess his pronunciation is Yenberg. Yeah, that's crazy. I heard that story, guys. The fact that he was a goalie until, like, his pre-teens is kind of nuts. And then he switched positions, and then now he's an NHL draft prospect in the second round.
He's going far down, really good. You're going to see some highlights here. He's always around the net. He's always creating havoc. His boots have got to come a little bit. I'm talking smaller.
I don't know a lot about him, but I know that story.
He's a winger to defend against a defenseman, the opponent. If he challenges too quick, Tony, guys can spin, and they get off him. So, he just needs to take better routes, is what I would say. But I love his power.
But 205 pounds, forward 6'2". And I guess he had a good combine, they're saying right now. So that caught the attention of the scouts.
With the 13th pick in the second round, the Anaheim Ducks select Eric Nilsson.
Eric Nielsen from the Anaheim Ducks. I had maybe the Flames picking him because of the dad connection, but there you go. That's a good pick.
521 career NHL games with Florida and Calgary. Yeah, born in Calgary.
Utah Mammoth up next. Eric Nielsen, center.
So he goes in that range anyways. Just over
Good pick. Thanks, James, for subscribing.
Defensively, look how strong he is. 99%.
No. Malcolm Spence is a forward. He is, I would say he's a left winger.
Playmaker. He was top 10 among all players in this draft.
He played for the Erie Otters this year in the OHL. I watched him a few times.
Offensive zone. Doing that through the neutral zone is a skill any NHL team alike. He's got some kind of Philip to no defensive qualities.
So guys, on the side, as you guys can see the draft scrolling,
Thomas could be a comparable. So
if you guys look right here, so if there's an F next to their name, they're a forward. If there's a D next to their name, they're a defenseman. If there's a G next to their name, they're a goalie. I just want to make sure people are aware.
his teammates today, I just love that. And
Hey, Lee Michael, thanks for being here. Chuck, thanks for being here. Landon, thanks for being here. Brian,
I hope there's been some other
yes, Connor Clifton to Pittsburgh.
come out and support their teametes as well.
Very cool. I know a lot of those first round guys are hanging around for the weekend concert coming up tonight too. So
Out in the Swedes. Good songs, but the weekend with the Swedes, a hit. Every guy we talk to, Books? Every single Swedish player, the weekend's coming, gotta find a way to get some tickets, so they're hanging around for the show.
Avicii and the weekend. That's for the Swedes right there.
Avicii. Look at you.
oh, yeah, Boots is dialed in.
He's hip.
I'm a traveler.
He's a big EDM guy. All right, Utah Mammoth on the clock. Here we go.
All right,
Utah
Utah Mammoth about to make the selection.
with the 14th pick in the second round. The Utah Mammoths select Max Shaniska from Portland of the Western Hockey League.
I don't know him well.
JC taking Max Sinichka, a defenseman out of Czechia, came to the WHL.
Actually, I had heard about his ranking. I don't know him well, though. I'm not going to lie. I don't know Stanika well.
Shocker, boys. 6'5", 185 pounds.
Another 6'5", another 6'5" defenseman, though.
The Mammoth.
Next order of selection.
Jeez.
He's a little bit of a project. He really is. But highly
So they're saying he's a bit of a project, highly competitive. He's 6'5", probably about a third pair defenseman target.
exceptional value when they arrive in the National Hockey League, and it's going to get redundant, but these types of players, they know what they are. Don't expect much offense out of them, but length, skates on
So
straight,
probably shut down, physical, right shot.
highly competitive. So, he's going to take some time, and you know
We'll
what?
see.
Utah has time. They got a ton of prospects, and they can take their time in the player development.
Dennis, thank you so much for subscribing.
The NBA draft, guys. Wow. 14 guys, 6'5" or
There's so many guys that are huge. Yeah, 14 guys that are that tall is crazy, bro. 6'4", 6'5".
Canucks have selected Alexei Medvedev.
Oh, the Canucks go goalie. Medvedev, London Knights. OHL represent London Knights. Alexei Medvedev goes to the Canucks. So the Canucks snag a goalie. Matt, thanks for subscribing.
Is this guy under 6 feet? Probably not.
He is not under 6 feet. He's over 6'2".
He's 6'3", I believe, Medvedev, or 6'2", 6'3".
Stays between the posts. So goaltenders who are big and long, when they travel too far east-west, boys, they lose their size advantage. They got to get back to the middle of the net. He does not do that. He's got great crease composure. Dave Rook, the goaltender coach there in London, raves about him. Again, he didn't play in the playoffs, and it didn't matter. You had to do your work between games 1 and the end of the regular season, and Todd Harvey works as hard as anybody, so great pick.
Their selection.
They haven't had a second-round pick in 3 years, so Vancouver Canucks are like, what are we doing here? This is great. I haven't seen this in a while.
Shane Vansagi.
Shane Vansagi, that's another guy I had early second-round pick. He goes to the Philadelphia Flyers. The Flyers are having a spectacular draft.
Born and raised in St. Louis, he was at the parade in 2019 after the Blues won the Stanley Cup. No longer a Blues fan, though. He is a Flyer fan.
Yeah, and he fits the Flyer image here. Getting another Rick Tocchet type of player here. This guy's a power forward as well.
Yep. Power forward. I think he's like 6'2". Let's see it when it pops up. 6'3". There you go. That's close.
Matthew and Brady. So, and I think
So 212 pounds already, guys. He's a big boy.
his jump from the development program to college went really well. He has done a really nice job of fitting in a role as a third-line position in college hockey already. He's at the net front. He's one of those guys, if the puck's in the corner, he's finding a way to come out of it. So he's fitting with what the Phillies trying to do here.
Another one of those late birthday guys, and that's a common thread that we're going to see throughout rounds 2 through 7. You find those late birthday guys who are a little further along in their development because of their age. Late birthday meaning born after September 15th, 2006.
A player comparable for me, guys, when he arrives in the NHL, he's a Noel Achari type of player. He's built like a freight train.
Canucks stacking the goalie talent. Yes, sir.
He's a middle. Vansaghi's going to be a power winger, but this guy is going to open up time.
So I like the Flyers. I like the Flyers pick so far, for sure.
Sweater on of an NHL team for the very first time in your life.
Well,
at a training camp, so I didn't have the.
What's up, Bacon? Good to see you in the chat. Let's go, guys. Keep hitting that subscribe button, that like. I keep seeing people sub in the chat, so I'm very, very thankful for you guys. Appreciate it.
I mean, from the standpoint that it's been your dream your whole life, and most of the games you played in your basement and in your backyard, you were an NHL player, and Stan Mikita was my guy, so I was Stan Mikita all those.
He's a good guy.
And all of a sudden, I put on a New York Ranger jersey, and you realize, holy cow, it's here. So you're shaking, you get some different emotions going through yourself.
The 17th pick in the second round, the Carolina Hurricanes have selected Charlie Serrato from Penn State in the Big Ten Conference.
Oh, wow.
All right, Mike Kelly, Charlie Serrato, a centerman out of Penn State, named a finalist for the 2024-2025.
Yeah, I didn't have him in the second round, but I've heard about Serrato following Penn State a little bit.
Passed over in the NHL draft twice, and he didn't really pop
Sorry,
with the
I'll just
U.S.
put it in.
national team. Goes to Penn State, has a real kind of breakout year. We projected him 44th overall, pretty close.
His data comp for NHL's Dalibor Dvorsky.
His percentiles are through the roof, largely again because he's a couple years older than some of the guys he's playing against. But good two-way player.
There you go.
Somebody the coaches trust. Nothing to me that really jumps off the page. And
How's it going, Skywalking? Who are the best players available? I would probably say
like that pick at that spot for Serrato.
who hasn't been picked from my list. Is Wozniak still hasn't been picked? I had him as a late first-round pick, so he's still available.
Better off going to Penn State, obviously. Penn State's a little plays a little
Ryabkin's still available. Jack Ivan Kovic's probably the best goalie available left.
slotted when he
William Moore,
different roles.
Cameron Schmidt,
Real offensive, and he tried to adjust.
just to name a few.
Was difficult for him.
One guy I'm really curious about is Owen Griffin. I wonder if he falls later to the first round. Later in the second round. I had him going to the Toronto Maple Leafs.
What he's going to get in front of
So we're almost at pick 50 here. The Devils are on the clock. Sam, thank you so much for subscribing.
They got money to spend. Yes, they know they can get any big name player in there that they want. So yeah, how do you think the whole?
Yeah, Atlee Becklin, thoughts on Gastrin? I think he's probably a good potential for middle six forward for the Capitals.
The New Jersey Devils select Conrad Fondrick from the National Team Development.
I'm not gonna lie.
All right, Sammy, this is your guy, Conrad Fondrick, a winger out of the NT.
I don't know Fondrick well.
Had some adversity this year, breaking his leg in March. That was a game against.
I guess he was injured. That's why I didn't really see him much this year.
April, and you could tell that it was so meaningful for him to be able to try and play the rest of his draft year, but also a guy who understood that the adversity faced from the injury was going to be something that was going to help him along later. And we've talked a lot about the character of these guys and how they understand and that self-realization. Well, you're watching all.
So sorry, Devils fans, I can't give you a little bit more of a breakdown. Cole McKinney hasn't been picked yet. No, so that's another one that I would look out for. But he was ranked outside of top 70 by some lists.
So I look at Fondrick very similar to some of the other guys, the Murtags and the McKinneys of the world, who bring a two-way style of game. I think this guy leans a little more to the offensive side than maybe the other two.
So two-way, but a little bit more offensive flair. There you go.
And what he's able to bring to the table, I think is going to help the team move.
Yeah, Grayson. Simon Wong is going to be a very interesting prospect because
Aggressive mindset and approach.
I think he's really come on as a prospect in the last year or two, and I think he showed some mobility
I just want to double down on what
this year with the Generals. So we'll see how he develops this year with the Ottawa Generals in a full season.
If you get an injury setback and you come into these elite lineups, sometimes it's going to take longer for you to get the opportunity.
Hey guys, thank you so much everyone that's hitting that like button. Let's try to get. Hey, we're at 1,000 live viewers currently in this chat right now. If we can get 500 likes, that means everyone's got to do their part.
And then thrive.
We'll get at least 500. We could get 1,000 if everyone does it. But please hit that like button and subscribe if you can.
I know we talked a lot about Gab McKenna, who we.
Norway represent. Also, let us know in the chat where you're watching from. I'm always curious. I feel like in the afternoon here, more folks overseas and in Europe can watch because it's not stupid late like it was last night. So let us know where you're watching from right now. You could give yourself a hometown shout out or just where you're watching. Country, Sweden, from Jonas, sorry. So a country represent or a town represent or city represent, like Firewagon giving Ottawa a shout. X-Pun from New York. Sith Slayer from Northern Texas. Darkness, St. Louis represent always. Jaden Roy or Wah from Sudbury. Paris, France, Sir Chandra. There you go, Simon from Quebec.
I think a lot of schools right now
Habs fan, Newfoundland, TX, New Network, Scarborough. King from Mass. Wow, that's moving fast. You guys are the best. All right, Bruins are on the clock. Let's see who they pick.
Of the 2025 NHL Draft, the Boston Bruins have selected William Moore.
William Moore, that's a great pick for the Boston Bruins. The Bruins continue to have a great draft.
The Boston Bruins getting a gem in this kid, William Moore, a center out of the NTDP. This kid won the Little Mozart's International
There you
Competition
go.
in 2017.
U.S. Development Program.
Performed at Carnegie Hall. So his hockey's good, but man, those hands are silky on the ivory keys as well.
Boogie from Croatia. J-Dub, good to see you in the chat. Mark, Melanie, Wayne, Nicola. It's a good pick for the Bruins.
Understands his, again, it's a pretty common theme with a lot of these players, but understands what he's good at and recognizes that if I'm going to continue to show well, I got to be there and be around the net a lot. His hands are sweet, and one of these kids that I think has got really good upside as well.
Yeah, this probably the most fascinating interview I've ever had with a kid. I mean, this guy is so worldly. He's so educated. He was deaf from the years 2 to 8, and then ends up, being a piano star, conservatory style piano. Like, this guy could play probably in this theater with his piano acumen. But the hockey side is what's really interesting to me. I mean, he's from the Toronto area, dual citizenship, played his minor hockey in Toronto, had an opportunity to go to the CHL, and felt like, and you look at his body, that he needed to get bigger and stronger, and felt that the program was going to do that for him. So he comes into the program.
Minnesota Wild are on the clock. Simon D. Otley, thank you so much for subscribing. Oh, the Wild. Go to the Swedish Junior League for their selection.
But there is a fascinating guy there who's highly, highly skilled. I'd like to see him get to the interior a little more. I'm fascinated.
So they pick Hallquist. I don't know much about Hallquist, I'm going to be honest. I saw his name pop up on rankings. Defenseman from the Swedish Junior League.
By the way, I'm shocked that Moore fell to that spot there. Good on the Boston Bruins. But here you're going to get a role player, a defenseman that, he's not going to be the most active. There's not going to be a lot of dine and dash with this guy here. I have him as a 7, guys, and I might be conservative when I say that, but he's a shutdown guy, and it's very difficult for me.
So they don't sound very high on Hallquist. I'm kind of surprised with the guys that are still on the board that the Wild went in that direction. Considering I don't know much about him, and it sounds like even the scouts on the network don't know a whole lot.
That's exactly what's going to happen. So people, fans of the game, don't get concerned, and that's just this draft class. Round 2 guys, depth people, depth pieces to round out your organization.
And we found out the John Gibson draft details yet. We know Peter Mrazek and 2 picks are going to Anaheim, but I don't know if we got the official details. But Alexander Romanoff extension is close, apparently. Cam Robinson.
This is the biggest day of their hockey lives to this point.
Yeah, it's cool. And even
So it's a 2nd and 4th round pick, I think. We don't know the. So it is a 2nd and 4th. I don't know if we have the exact details of the years yet.
What happens today doesn't matter what happens yesterday. It's about
But Saravalli and Friedman were on it.
which is going to define your hockey career.
Yeah, and if you remember how the draft finished yesterday.
But yeah, thanks for being here, guys. We got almost 1,000 people in here. You guys are the best.
The Calgary pick that Colin Potter, and he says, everybody that's not going to get drafted today, do not panic, do not worry. You are still valued, and get ready to celebrate no matter when you get drafted, because you're going to get that opportunity, and you deserve to have one of the special days, the most special days of your life. So I thought Lanny really finished the draft off well with that comment.
I totally agree. That was a nice touch for sure. The thing with Hallquist here, and I want to double down on what you just said there. You say 6. Also picking up after this pick here.
With the 21st pick in the 2nd round of the 2025 NHL Draft, the San Jose Sharks have selected Cole McKinney from the National Team Development Program.
Cole McKinney, that's a steal. Sharks are buzzing.
I want to put a bow on Hallquist because you mentioned he was a 6.
Martin Zelenka.
Which is kind of like Tier 2 hockey in North America over there. When he played on the national team, he flips the script, and that's where he's playing more to that other identity. So the offense isn't elite enough.
Thanks for subscribing.
Even though he puts up
Samuel Tessier.
I'm not saying you did that, J-Mo, but I'm trying to
All right, who are the Flames going to pick? Flames fans, get into the chat. Who are you going to pick? Cole McKinney's a good pick for the Sharks.
This puzzle, Cole McKinney led all NTD Peace skaters this year in points with 61.
Yeah, I love this guy. I mean, 61 points. He, too, is another one of those guys that gets after it. He can play both sides of the puck. There's a lot of
Calgary's made their selection.
high-end skill to his
Flames are on the clock, and they're about to make their selection.
points. So I like the fact that he's able to play both ways and the fact that he can be a pain to play against.
Celius, Djurgården, the Swedish junior.
I couldn't hear properly with them talking over him.
Stocks Salius, a center from Djurgården Jr.
Stock Celius to the Flames.
Kid, adversity-filled childhood, develops thyroid cancer at the age of 15, but he is persevering.
Holy shit, he had cancer.
I've got a soft spot for Theo Stock.
Yeah, that's
6'3" center from Djurgården.
that's a
High hockey IQ.
crazy story now to be an NHL prospect in the second round.
Your physicality, puck carrying. I mean, we had him 37.
6'3" center.
And to me, that's a really good get for the Calgary.
I saw him listed in the third round for a lot of people. He his NHL data comp is John Tavares.
200-foot game that he has.
But I think he's not going to be John. He's probably going to be a John Tavares light.
Center, two-way forward. If all goes well, maybe you're
So
thinking like
maybe a third line center, maybe.
player. And if you can get down to this spot at 54 for the Calgary Flames, that's going to be a home run. So I'm a big fan of this guy, and
How's it going, Ken Dog?
he gets good value here, guys.
Just wanted to double down on Cole McKinney real quick. Again, I go back.
Nashville's on the clock. Where will they go with this pick?
This year, guys, boy, oh boy, he's got a little rack to him. Like he's in the grill.
I love it.
He's in the grill of his opponents. He's trash talking. He doesn't quit on anything. He's got a little jab.
In a
to him.
smart way.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't get himself a penalty problem, but the other team knows when they're playing against him.
Hey, rats are in vogue these days, huh?
He attracts attention. He coaches you. He'll rope with Dopsy into doing something dumb, right? The way with his approach. I like it. I personally, I think that San Jose, that's great for them. JT Compher, who was at the top as well, he reminds me a little bit of that. Kind of a play behind a bunch of guys. He did play behind a lot of guys because they didn't have that really high-end skilled guy there. But ultimately, he plays that type of a game that JT is. That's so successful. So valuable for sure.
All right.
Who's on the clock here? Minute and a half to go, and we've got the Nashville Predators back on the clock.
Yeah, Rabkin's falling for sure.
Here in round number 2, taking Jacob Rombach all the way back with the
Okay, guys, so
in round
55
We've seen a theme
is next.
up here early
So
on.
we basically have
Big guys, big defense, not necessarily concerned.
a good chunk of picks left in the second round.
Talked about playing in your first pairing, guys that are
I think 10 on the dot, I guess. My math serves me right. 64, yeah, so 10 on the dot.
into a lineup and add additional depth on the back end to your lineup.
The Leafs pick number 64. As you guys can see over here, we got the trades over here. We got the draft, and now I can add the John Gibson trade as well.
That goes without saying now. That probably stretches into your third D-man. And then once you get 4 through 7, you have to have that physicality, the length, the reach, the ability to eat pucks, play on the PK. And we're seeing a lot of those type of players being selected here early in round 2. The one fascinating thing to me, guys, is this Ivan Rabkin. With what he did this year, coming over, everyone thought he'd be a top 10 pick, and he's still on the board here. Again, I think as NHL
Top 10 pick?
really heard
What?
from
Who said
everyone
that?
I talked to, but the skill set, if you can get this,
I thought he was maybe a late first round
I
pick.
think you're going to find a real gem at this part of the draft.
Is Nashville going to pick Rabkin?
Talk about this a lot. Like, if you see red flags, does it
Michael Latour, thank you so much for being here. You can watch here. You're getting draft coverage right here.
We didn't have the opportunity to interview him, but I can tell you that the eye test was very concerning here. So there's some things that you.
The draft has not announced the John Gibson trade yet.
Thanks for him.
YouTube Gaming Center, thanks for being here.
They made right to the final in the USHL this year. He had a long season, so I'm going to give him the.
Yes, Tampa Bay is not next, but the pick after that.
Jessica going to Mesquite.
Guys, we are 50 subscribers away from 56.5K. That would be amazing to get to. Please hit that subscribe button if you're new. Hit that like button. Really appreciate you guys being here.
Here's the thing, though, boys. You can't teach offense. You know, you're gifted.
The national pick's taking long because one of two things.
Has that. He
One, they didn't realize a player would fall to the spot, or two, maybe they're trading the pick, guys. Usually when it takes this long, it's a potential trade.
train him up, you know, build him up.
They were flying with the picks there, though. They were moving. But maybe Nashville didn't realize someone would fall. Maybe it's Rabkin.
They're taking their time.
We'll see.
I'm curious now. They've had a lot of picks. I'm curious now if we start to get into the
Maybe if they trade down, we'll see.
and the Owen Griffins.
Martin, thanks for subscribing. But Cameron Schmidt, I agree, is one of those undersized guys. Thanks for subscribing.
Round number 2 has been selected.
I just think the skill set is undeniable for Cameron Schmidt. Earlier on in the year, I had him as a first-round pick. I had him drop to the second round for my final mock draft.
Trade here because
I watched Cameron Schmidt this year. I think that's To me, the two guys I'm watching for in the second round are Cameron Schmidt and Owen Griffin. I think they're a bit more undersized. Owen Griffin this year with the Oshawa Generals. I think he's a talent, man. He looked like a dog in the playoffs as well, in the OHL playoffs. So I would look out for Owen Griffin in this second round as well.
I think the finish 2 years ago when they were probably one of the best teams heading into playoffs 2 years ago kind of threw them off on their plan. I think they thought that meant they were really, really close, and if they could add that offense.
Andrew, I do see your comments. Blended.
We always knew going into Nashville, they're going to be hard to play against.
Thank you, Blended. So the Gibson picks were a 2026 4th-round pick and 2027 2nd-round pick. Thank you to Blended in the chat. Shaw and Bruin 1. Thanks for subscribing. John says Timmins is a million times better than Clifton. How is that a fleece for the Penguins? Honestly, John, I'm not going to lie, respectfully, saying a million times better is kind of nuts. I don't know who or when you were watching Connor Timmins. Connor Timmins is solid, but a million times better is kind of crazy. You understand that the Penguins got a top 40 pick, right? I don't think it's a bad trade. I shouldn't have said fleece if I did that. I don't think I said... I think it's just a win for the Penguins.
Trade to announce. The Nashville Predators have traded their pick number 55 in the 2025.
Nashville traded it, guys.
To the Vegas Golden Knights.
Oh, the Golden Knights jump up.
Picks number 58 and number 122 in the 2025 NHL draft. Means Vegas is now on the clock.
Wow, so Nashville's probably got like 4 guys that they're comfortable with picking, so they have no problem dropping 4 picks to get a late draft selection. I think, what did they say, 125 or 122? So what round is that, Chad? Is that like 5th round? Oh my God, is Vegas about to get Rapkin? They cannot get away with this. They're about to get Rapkin. Oh my goodness.
Because they're always in win now mode, but they're the type of team that I think might take a chance here, and so too is Tampa. They've had some success scouting some Russian
wow.
players in the past, so I'd be
Chat. Vegas is gonna get. Oh my God. RJ Hanna, thank you so much for subscribing. All right, so there you go. So Vegas jumps up, Nashville drops down.
Can I double down from my time in Nashville, Tony? You were coaching the National Hockey League at that time, but when I worked for David Poyle, the one thing that he always stressed with us in terms of team identity, and we were different back then. We weren't a cap team. We had to be, but Treacy was the head coach. And
Vegas has made their selection.
All right, Vegas has made their selection. Let's hear it.
The 23rd pick in the 2nd round of the 2025 NHL draft. The Vegas Golden Knights have selected Jacob
Wozniak. That is a steal as well. I had Wozniak as a late 1st-round pick. They forgot about him on the network, which made me forget about him. This is a steal for Vegas, bro. Wozniak, 6'2", 180, 190, and around there. He is a shooter, man. This is a steal for Vegas, man. His comp is Mika Zibanejad. Wow. This is a steal, in my opinion.
So, you know, if you're looking at 55 here for a player that Vegas moved up to get, I think they see a lot of really good attributes in him as well. 23 goals in 40 games last season, got a little bit of taste in the SHL as well. I don't see him as a guy that's going to drive a line, but a competent player in a middle 6 who can obviously put the puck in the net, good offensive instincts, maybe a Svechnikov type of element to his game as a goal scorer if he could round out the playmaking.
Damn, man, that's a steal. I had him as a late 1st-round pick. He drops all the way to 55 in the 2nd round. Zeta, I wouldn't be surprised if Toronto trades down, but they do have it. Like, how many selections does Toronto have in this draft? 6? 5 or 6? I don't think there's a need to trade down. Zeta, I'm telling you, man, I watched Owen Griffin. I know Leaf fans want the big size. But, like, look at the 2016 draft with the Leafs after Matthews. They drafted all big guys, and, like, so many of them didn't turn out. I know they drafted Wool, I believe, in that draft as well. So those Matthews and Wool obviously worked out. I think Wool was 2016. But anyways, long story short, draft the best player available. Owen Griffin would be a spectacular pick at the Toronto spot if he falls to that. My best available, to give you guys a bit of an understanding. So Ivan Ryabkin's probably the best left. After that, Jack Ivan Kovic is the best goalie left.
25 NHL draft.
Let's see. Tampa Bay.
Have selected Ethan Zada.
Ethan Zada. Niagara Ice Dogs OHL represent. This is a good pick, too. I had him as a second-round selection.
A center out of Niagara, the OHL, after recording 17 points in 62 games.
But I think I just saw us from blended.
This year, 55.
They might trade down and then get maybe a mid-round pick next year. That's possible. Flyers are up next. But this is a good pick. I like this for Tampa.
It's elite. Like, he can find open seams. He can get to open ice. He's got some good reach. He can skate. And I think the one undercover part of his game is that his compete every now and then pushes him over the edge. Got to drop the gloves sometimes. No problem doing that. And I don't think that's...
Yeah, he had a bit of chippiness to his game this year. I probably watched him at least a handful of times. Brampton, Ontario represent too. But yeah, I had him as a top 50 prospect, and Tampa Bay gets him at 56.
He was high on Anthony Cirelli some time ago, and that's where Tampa Bay really made their mark. Getting
So I think this is a good pick for Tampa. Talk about Tampa and their second round selections. I believe Cirelli was a second round pick, right? YouTube Gaming Center, because if you don't have your subscriptions public, it won't pop up on Streamlabs. But thank you so much for subscribing. Yeah, guys, if that's the case for you as well, your name didn't pop up, just let us know in the chat that you subscribed, and we want to give you a shout out. By the way, we're one subscriber away from 56,450. If someone wants to clutch up and be that big hype person in the chat, we want to hype you up. Matthew Guard, wow, big boy. I believe he played in the WHL this year. Matthew Guard of the Philadelphia Flyers. So they're going for some size here with their second round picks. Sorry, I had Seattle still at 57. I think they made that trade, right? So
He ends up going a little bit lower in the WHL draft, and he arrives on the doorstep of the Red Deer Rebels. Dave Struch takes over as coach there last year with a few games.
he didn't put up a lot of production, like point production, as I recall. But definitely a beast in the sense where I could see him being like a really good third or fourth line center. He's how tall? 6'5". So workhorse center, powerful skating strides. Definitely a guy that I see as, I would say, his ceiling is third line center. Probably ends up being like a good fourth line center for the Philadelphia Flyers one day. We'll see. Could be better than that. You never know with these guys, right? Junior Love, thank you so much for subscribing. Who did the Nashville just pick? Jack Ivan Kovic? Oh, I had Jack Ivan Kovic going to Nashville! HTH show! Yo, everyone in the chat! W's in the chat. I literally said the Nashville Predators have looked into Jack Ivan Kovic. That's an HTH report that you never got anywhere else. That's a W right there.
I promise you, his technical game, his winning pedigree, the way he's a teammate.
There you go. In my mock draft, I literally said the Nashville Predators have looked at Jack Ivan Kovic. Do not be surprised if they pick him. And the Predators pick Jack Ivan Kovic.
In my opinion, this guy was right on the fringes of the first round.
That's a great pick for the Preds. That's a steal.
Team Canada, so I think this is a steal of a pick.
He's not even a small goalie. He's like, I mean, I guess small in terms of goalie size these days. He's 6 foot. But he's super skilled, athletic. I watched him a lot this year in the OHL. That is a spectacular pick for the Nashville Predators. Jim, Brian, Richard, Nina, Double J, Bumper. Thanks for subscribing, guys.
5 NHL draft, the Los Angeles Kings have selected Wojtek Sihar from
There you go.
and then the Czech League.
He hesitated there. Wojtek Shihar's going to the LA Kings. And we got a trade. Looks like the Ducks are trading.
He got traded. The alarm goes off. CR got traded. We shall see. Let's listen.
The Anaheim Ducks have traded goaltender John Gibson
Oh,
to the Detroit Red Wings in exchange for Peter Mrazek, Detroit's second-round selection in the 2027 NHL draft, and Detroit's fourth-round selection in the 2026
So it has nothing to do with this pick, though.
NHL draft.
because the Ducks are still in the clock, right? Okay, I was going to say, so it has nothing to do with this pick. They're just announcing it before this pick.
Ducks are now on the clock.
G-Con, thanks for subscribing.
making that trade that Elliot told us about.
Let's go, guys. We're now 35 away from 56.5K. You guys are amazing. And we have 970 in the chat.
26. A couple of Ducks fans, you heard him in attendance. They announced John Gibson. No! Not happy.
Hey, Jim says, joining you from my truck in Sweden. Well, thank you, Jim, for being here. I'm going to keep breaking down the picks for you. But they officially announced the John Gibson trade.
And why it's been rumored to happen is Lucas Dostal. Like, let's make no mistake about it. So, I think they're in a fascinating spot. You get that kind of backup in Mrazek who can play a run of games if you really need to, but now you've handed the ball over to Dostal, and I think that's a good move, especially if you're able to free up the money there for Anaheim as they move forward.
It's a little similar to the Spencer Knight coming to Chicago. You want your starting goaltender to grow with those young players. So you got Vlasic and you got Rinzo.
All right.
Lucianev and obviously
The Ducks have made the pick.
And I think that's part of the thing that Anaheim too. Let your young goalie run with these other young players and grow together.
100%.
The Anaheim Ducks have selected Lassi Bolius from Assat in the Finnish Junior League.
I don't know much about him. Gord, thanks for subscribing.
Out of Assat Junior, the Finnish Junior League.
This is a tough year for the Finns. It's gone in cycles, and this is a hockey nation that takes a lot of pride in developing players.
Lassi Bolius, left shot defenseman.
For the Finns on the international stage, within his
Yeah, the Finns they haven't really had many guys drafted.
offensive numbers there, I think it's more the surrounding than anything else. As he grows
But Gordon G-Con, thanks for subscribing.
more quality, he skates really well. He sees the
All right, the Bruins are back on the clock, and then chat. It's gonna be Bruins, Hurricanes, Devils, then the Leafs are gonna be up.
season. He stood out on the
All right, chat. I know there's a lot of Leaf fans in here too. Do you guys think the Leafs will select, either pick select or draft in the chat or trade? Get your predictions going. And ironically, we have 967 in the chat. 1967. There you go. Leafs are coming up.
But like their U18 team, their U20 team, you know you're going to get max effort from the Finns because usually the sum of the parts.
I know, Darkness. Maybe the Blues will get into the second or third round here. Yo! Jake C with the $10 dono says, do you think Billy holds on to Rossi and uses him as a trade chip during the trade deadline? Honestly, Jake, I think he gets dealt. I think Rossi still gets traded. Maybe not today, because now we're getting closer to the third round. But maybe in a player trade.
surrounding. I think there's something there that's untapped.
We'll see.
29th pick in the second round.
But thank you so much, Jake, for the dono.
NHL draft. The Boston Bruins have selected Liam Pettersson,
Liam Pettersson going to the Boston Bruins.
Swedish Junior League.
Swedish Junior League represent. So the Bruins, after selecting forwards, they go defenseman here.
Defenseman, Swedish Junior League, led his team in one defenseman.
Another Pettersson into the NHL draft prospect system.
On some draft lists was, a lot farther down. We had him slotted at 68, so that kind of falls in line with where he was selected here. Watching him in terms of puck moving and transition.
I will be live on July 1st, Andrew, for NHL Free Agency Day. That is correct.
Still got to fill out a little bit. There's work to do on the defensive side of things with him.
I know, Chris. There's going to be new rules for the NHL, though.
Defenders in this draft in terms of
What's up, Curtis? Big Red Wings fan in the chat. Cameron Schmidt is still available. I mean, I see it every year, guys. There's always that one undersized forward who's super skilled but falls through the cracks. Cameron Schmidt's that guy. Once upon a time, Logan Stankoven was that guy. I'm not saying Cameron Schmidt's going to be that, but I wouldn't be surprised if Carolina picks him here.
Hurricanes have selected Ivan Rabkin.
Oh my God, and Carolina's getting away with it. Ivan Rapkin. Oh, he gets picked. Steal for the Hurricanes. He should have went late first round pick or early second round. He falls all the way to 62 to Carolina. What a pick for the Canes.
So I had him in my first round as a wild card based on skill, and the reason I had him there was that skill. The rest of it,
And he's not even that short either. 5'11".
his buy-in is where it needs to be.
Ivan Rapkin had a great year. I've heard a lot of great things about his skill set, and he's like 200 pounds.
Player under 6 feet.
it's right.
It says 5'11". I think he looks a little bigger than 5'11". So I get the tape measure out. He qualifies from.
The scout speak is cerebral player, handles and controls the puck well in all areas of the ice, makes plays in heavy traffic.
He's stocky. He's still like a 5'11".
It's a great pick, bro. It's a great pick for the Hurricanes. At this spot, like again, it's one of those high ceiling, high risk kind of picks, but late in the second round, you got to snag him.
Especially unbelievable stuff. His vision, his ability to shoot it, all those things
Toronto's on the clock as Devils pick Ben Keevan.
Russia in December to get over to play in Muskegon. That can be very challenging, and so you have to provide a bit of a mulligan there.
18 years old and you play on 4 teams in 2 different countries in the world.
Forward Ben Keevan.
So let's give him a break here.
All right, chat. Who's Toronto gonna pick?
Stressed out. Nice pick for
Like in Carolina, I mean, they have no problem going to Russia whatsoever. They've done that.
Who is Toronto going to pick?
44 picks come from Russia. One of the teams that's not afraid to take a chance.
All right, Tony, Ben Keevan, New Jersey Devils. Ben Keevan, a California kid. You hear a little extra applause in the audience here, so really nice. Played Emily Junior Kings here.
And then Vancouver will be after Toronto.
As well. Real fast skater, pretty good.
Nicholas says love Gibson to the Red Wings.
Play with Colin Potter next year.
What's up, Bruno?
Play another year.
What's up, Brian? Sad Canes fan in the chat.
He had a really nice college player, but he did score a big goal for Team USA. I would say.
Nathan Bem. Yeah, I say for Toronto, Nathan Bem I'd be happy with.
It wasn't quite the goal.
I would probably be happy, obviously, with Owen Griffin. I think that's a good pick here. But Owen Griffin at this rate, maybe he falls in the 3rd round for Toronto. Nathan Bem, Owen Griffin are probably my top 2 picks for this selection here, in terms of style of play. Cameron Schmidt is definitely the skill set. I don't know if it really fits with what Toronto's doing, but I mean, he put up a lot of production. I want to look at his stat line again, because if you just look at his stat line, like if you just want to like stare at Cameron Schmidt, it's just because he's so short and undersized. He's only 5'7", 5'8", but he put up 78 points in 61 games in the WHL, 40 goals. And then in the playoffs matter, he put up 9 points in 5 games, 4 goals in 5 games. I just don't think you go Cameron Schmidt, the undersized here. I think Toronto fans are going to blow up. So Nathan Bem or Owen Griffin.
Who's played 54 games last year, so he's got to get paid in that whole transaction.
For 2025 NHL Draft, the Toronto Maple Leafs have selected Tinnis Luke Koblar from Leksand of the Swedish Junior League.
Bro, why do they always overthink it?
Final selection of round number 2, the Toronto Maple Leafs.
I don't know much about him, so I'm not going to react, but
Of the 2025
Player from the Swedish Junior
Anyways.
League, played for Leksand's Junior.
selection of the 3rd
So
round.
there you go. Round number 2 in the books. And we're going to take a quick time out here from the
I can't react because now they have
When we come back, round number 3.
a new scouting staff who's done really well with the Dallas Stars, obviously. Let's see. 6'3", 17 years old, played in the Swedish Junior League, 21 points in 43 games.
Animation crossover. Collect hockey players sporting uniforms inspired by DC superheroes exclusively on UpperDeckEback.com. Set up your free account today.
Yeah, I don't know.
to your
Tough to say,
collection.
man. Tough to say. Okay, I want to look at the draft order for the 3rd round. Maybe I'll wait for the 3rd round. All right, chat. What do we think about the 2nd round? We're moving into the 3rd round. Give me your thoughts on your team specifically. Give me your thoughts. Give me your thoughts. And if we could, guys, we are 25 subscribers away from 56.5K. 25 is crazy. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know much about that pick, but I'm not, I'm definitely not over the moon. I'll tell you that for free. I don't know why they had to make that one complicated, but you know what? Maybe people come back to this clip and I look like an idiot. So I'm not even saying, I'm not even ripping them. I just like, it's so hard because I don't know the player, right? Like, I'm not going to act like I watched this guy play in the Swedish Junior League. So I don't know him, but he put up 21 points in 43 games for Leksands in the Swedish Junior League. Oh my god, I know why they picked him. Because they picked Victor Johansson, who played on that team last year. So they got a first look at him. That's why. That's why they picked him. Because I should have connected the dots with that, actually. Since Victor Johansson Colblar. So one of the Leafs selections back in, was it 23 or 24? I guess it was 24 last year. They picked defenseman Victor Johansson in like the 4th round. So Colblar plays on that team. So that's why they would have got a quick, they would have got a first and kind of direct look at him when they were watching those games. Let me see where the scouts had him ranked. So Tyus Luke Colblar, 6'3", left shot center. THN and Ferrari had him ranked 55. And Dauber Prospects had him ranked 64. This is his description on Elite Prospects. Tyus Luke Colblar is a big-bodied center with a rather projectable mechanical base. He employs a deep, steady skating stride and can be distinctly fast, which he can generate value both in transition as a puck carrier and through an imposing forechecking presence. And so where is he from originally? He's from Norway. Oh, there was someone in the chat that wanted a Norway represent drafted. And there you go. While he plays in Sweden, he used to play in Norway, and he's from Norway. I don't know. Nathan Bem and Owen Griffin were right there, chat. Like, I know I'm very much heavy on the Canadian junior leagues, much more than overseas. So, but
I've seen from a young age what it takes to play in the NHL and all of the things you have to sacrifice and the work it takes.
Okay, the Canucks pick Kieran Durbin, and the Blackhawks pick Nathan Bem. Oh my God, that's a spectacular pick by the Blackhawks. So, of course, the Blackhawks snag him 2 picks later. That's such a good pick for the Blackhawks. All right, 3rd round started, guys. Let's get it on the board.
Can't go in it at that age. It's just so cold, and just being around the pros and messing around with them was pretty cool.
All right, so Blake Fiddler right there, son of Vern Fiddler, who played almost 900 games in the National Hockey League. We saw him.
All right, Kieran Durbin to the Canucks, and Chicago gets Nathan Bem. That's a great pick for Chicago. Had 30-plus goals, was a point per game in the WHL. That's a great pick for the Blackhawks. 6'2", I think, right winger.
Canadian college school called St. Andrews, and that's a school that just pumps out player after player. We saw Dean Letourneau come out of there.
That drives me nuts, man.
Brothers Aid Lane, we might see him
Nice.
at some point here today as well. And then at the end of the year, he ends up going to the Kingston Frontenacs. He gets into 10 games there, and they realize, all right, we can play at this level and make that transition.
Mostly ice. I don't think we're going to see expansion until the end of the decade. Like, I don't think we'll see it in the next couple of years. But, hey, you never know. Yeah, we'll see if LA trades this pick, because it's taken a hot minute for sure. But again, guys, thank you so much for everyone subscribing. I keep seeing that number rise, so you guys are the best. And let us know if you're a new viewer. Hit that like button. We are now at 300 likes. Let's try to get 500. I feel like 500 is the goal here. And I hope you guys check out the videos I posted in the last day or so. I know, Lord Hossa. The Blackhawks love the 3rd round picks, and they're doing well in the 3rd round. They got Lardis, and now they get Nathan Bem. I'm telling you right now, guys, I watched Owen Griffin, and now the Leafs missed out on him. Owen Griffin's going to be a big-time prospect, a big-time player in the OHL next year. Oh, my God. Get Owen Griffin, man. I don't know when the Leafs pick next, but whoever gets Owen Griffin is getting a potential stud in this 3rd round. He lit up the playoffs, too. Search up Owen Griffin right now, I'm telling you guys.
But it's kind of neat that all hockey players play golf because you have the summers off, but for him to be that involved.
He put up 29 points in 21 games in the playoffs last year for the Generals. 16 goals in the playoffs for 20. I feel like the Leafs could use some playoff goals. Don't you guys think? 16 goals in 21 games in the playoffs. He kind of reminds me of Easton Cowan's progression throughout the OHL. Had like a brutal first year in terms of production, then jumped, had 51 points in 62 games, and then got even better in the playoffs with 29 points in 21 games. He just keeps getting better and better. So we'll see if the Kings make a trade here. Nabokov fans is new here. Def will check out some of your vids. Hot Take Hockey. I have a question about round 1. If I might, how do you view the Sharks' new goalie 30, Ravensburgen? Thank you for asking. Nabokov fan. It's actually funny because I think I see some Nabokov in him. Yeah, I think the athleticism stands out. I think the size stands out for the goalies that have been on the board. I think he's, 6'3". So, for me, I think it's a great pick for the Sharks, late first round. I had him as a top 25 prospect rank in this draft, and I think he's got a lot of maturity. But here's the thing. He's 18 years old. I don't expect goalies to pan out until the 25 anyways. So, I think the Sharks have one of, if not the brightest, goalie tandem futures in the National Hockey League with Askarov and Ravensburger. Eagles, thanks for being here.
Speaking of our golf games, nobody's golfed more in the Stanley Cup Final than EJ Raddick. Putting in some work here, though, at the NHL draft. He's with a very special guest, general manager of the Detroit Red Wings.
Oh, yeah, Nomad. Tyler Spain says, do you think the Leafs will trade for Kadri to help the center depth? Potentially. Potentially. Tavares is being paid like a third-line center. I think the Leafs are looking heavy for a second-line center right now.
Well, Pat and I had some discussions last season, around the, if I recall, around the trade deadline. John was dealing with some injuries at that time, and
John Gibson to the Red Wings is a great ad. There you go. Shout out to Jeremiah the Sports Beard. Got these custom glasses. Look at that glass, guys. Hot Take Hockey. If you guys want to check out some of the merch or custom stuff, I never really shouted out, but the link is in the description if you guys want to check it out. We got a trade. So it took a while. We figured there was a trade. The LA Kings have traded their pick. We'll see what happens.
The idea of staying in Anaheim. Did you have to convince him about coming to Detroit? And he is somebody from Pennsylvania, that area. It's not that far.
Yeah, Eagles. I think Milton Gastron's going to be a really good middle six guy. Carolina traded up into the LA spot, chat.
Actually placed a call into John. I haven't talked to him yet, but no,
there you go. So Carolina trades up.
Our understanding was
Them drafting Cameron Schmidt here would be pretty typical of them, to be honest.
And John was looking for a fresh start and saw an opportunity in Detroit to get in the net and play a lot of games.
So Detroit trades up.
Speaking with him, and I've been assured he's excited to come to Detroit, and we're excited to have him.
All right, so you get the goaltending situation kind of settled with a terrific player like Gibson. What other things are you working on as you move towards July 1st?
Well, we'll continue to explore the
So LA acquires a 2026 third-round pick. I thought, honestly, that's what Toronto was going to do, to be honest, a trade like that.
Positions is pretty thin, but there are players that we would have some interest in.
Yeah, I think Sislayer. I think the Jets are going to try to go big fish hunting for sure if they lose Ehlers. I think Ehlers, the door's still open, but I think, my prediction was Carolina for him. I think he's going to, I think he's going to go to another contender potentially, and Carolina's got the space. What's up, Joven? I don't know much about the Canucks pick. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna try to fake that one. I just don't. I didn't know a lot about Colblar. All right, so the Hurricanes are on the clock.
Give me your thoughts on him. Why is he a good fit for the Detroit Red Wings?
Well, we think he's a very good prospect, EJ. He's smart, he's competitive.
Limitov. Oh, that's a great pick for the Hurricanes. I had Limitov as a second-round pick. That's a great pick. I think he's also a 6'4" defenseman. Let's see. 6'3" defenseman. There you go.
Not only can he score at the junior level, he can score, but he plays hard too, and he plays.
Played Moscow, Russian Junior League. Got a game in with the Dynamo. It's a good pick for the Hurricanes. The Hurricanes might turn into the winners of draft weekend at this pace. Or one of the winners, maybe. In terms of, later picks. Because Frolov, I heard, could be an intriguing goalie. And Carolina obviously just got Ryabkin, so that's a steal late in the second round, too. So I don't know why I put Detroit there. It's Carolina. I was just watching Steve Eiserman's chat. And Seattle picked right away. Seattle did not waste any time, chat. They picked Will Reynolds, defenseman. See, that's the pace I wanted at.
above average skater for a guy his size. I think hockey sense is something that scouts are questioning a little bit.
Hey, we're 15 subscribers away from 56.5K now. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Let us know if you're a new viewer, guys. Welcome to the channel.
Comes up as our data comparable.
All right, Mike, thank you very much. Seattle, Sam, taking Will Reynolds, a defenseman.
Christian Epperson's still available. He had a great year with the Saginaw Spirit. I wonder if one of these teams coming up snag him. So guys that I think are going to get picked coming up soon. A guy like Cameron Schmidt keeps falling because of that size. But he had a crazy production year in the WHL. So I would look out for him. I would look out for Bryce Pickford. I would look out for Christian Epperson. I would look out for Owen Griffin. Probably to name a few. Luca Romano, Tyler Hopkins. I had Kerbin Limitov going late in the second round, and the Hurricanes select him in the third round here.
One thing that I like about this kid is that Bathurst were kind of a middle of the pack type of a team. Like they weren't a high-end team in the Quebec League. Will Reynolds played to a player type. Sometimes you find defensemen who are good skaters who are maybe going to be able to provide secondary offense. They try and do too much, and they don't do anything really, really well. He was a plus player on that team. Like,
what's up, Chuck?
Makes a good first pass. Kind of plays to just a simple identity.
Blade says you have, let's see, 2 numbers 6'5"s. Sorry, I'm trying to read that. Lol, P, Guy Weston, and Michael, thanks for subscribing. What's up, Vito? Welcome if you're a new subscriber. The Leafs drafted kind of, I don't know. It seems like he maybe is a two-way defensive center. So I don't know. I'm curious. I don't want to judge. The reason why they drafted his name's Colblar. The reason why they drafted him is he plays on the same Swedish junior team as Victor Johansson, who they drafted last year, defenseman. So they go 6'3" center, 17 years old. Seems like potentially a lot of untapped potential. So we'll wait and see. I'm trusting the new Leafs scouting staff because the leader of that has had success with the Dallas Stars. Yeah, Ryan, one more time from you, buddy. I usually just ignore trolls like that, but the chat's getting a little bit upset with you, so one more time, bro, and I think we're going to have to block you from the chat, unfortunately. I'm sorry to break it to you. So if you do put one more fake trade in the chat, I think the mods are going to hide you. I think I said that pretty clear, guys, in a nice way. Dominic, how's it going? Thanks for being in the chat. Yeah, Boston's taking a lot of time here after Seattle picked right away, so I think Boston might be trading down. Yeah, Avi, William Moore was a first-round talent for some scouts. Yeah, DM. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I know mostly CHL players. I watched a lot of OHL and WHL this year. Some Q players. But, yeah, I don't, like, there's only so much. Here's what I say to people, and this is like everyone and anyone. Everyone has their strengths in aspects of life and following in the industry. It's commercial break, by the way. I've got like 5 jobs, guys. So I got my full-time gig that's in the industry for broadcast technology. I host at the Bulldogs, so I watch a lot of OHL games throughout the year by default. I work at the Leafs as well, so I watch a lot of NHL as well. Got a lot of buddies out west, so I follow the WHL as well. And then I work with Bleacher Report as well. So a lot of stuff on the go, and then I also do YouTube as much as I can. So that's kind of the dealio here. But yeah, I watch a lot more CHL than overseas. Like, there's only so much time in the day. I just told you guys how much. I mean, I do a lot of travel in North America as well, throughout Canada and the U.S. So there's only so much time in the day. I would not be able to watch hockey overseas, to put it that way. Wish I could, but again, there's only 24 hours in a day, and you're probably sleeping for hopefully at least 6 or 7 hours of that. Southeast, what's going on? Yeah, the queue only has a few players selected. We are 10 subscribers away, chat, from 56.5K. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for being here. Dominus is doing great, man. Penn's honestly not bad draft, but I see where Dubas is going, trying to beef up. Yeah, potentially. Stevie, are the Oilers going to get a goalie? Maybe. Also, guys, a reminder, if you guys ever don't get an answer out of me for a question, my social media is here, at Sean Viveiros, or just Hot Take Hockey on any platform. Shoot me a message. Shoot me a message, and I'll reply. I got to get back to some people, though, for sure, soon. Elias Martinez, thank you so much for subscribing. Did Montreal move up? We definitely were expecting a trade there, so I would not be surprised if Montreal moved to that spot. We'll see. Damn, a lot of people, and 5 people just subscribed, so we're 5 subscribers away. That's awesome. Thanks, chat.
Welcome back to day 2 of the NHL entry draft presented by Upper Deck. You can see Bill Daly at the podium right now. The Boston Bruins are on the clock, but while we're in commercial break, a trade took place. The Bruins traded pick 69 to Montreal.
All right, Bruins trade number 69 to Montreal.
The Montreal Canadiens have selected Hayden Papanekas.
Oh, Papanekas from WHL as well represent. The WHL is getting a lot of selections here.
All right, Sam Hayden, Rangers, Papanekas, a center from Kelowna, the WHL. This kid
I have something screwed up here.
games with Kelowna. Had 6 goals in those
Oh,
first
I have 65 twice. That's funny. So now we're gonna jump into the 70th selection to cap up the top 70 in this draft.
When you look at his size, it's funny because
And he's big too. I believe he's 6'4".
what the NHL does, and they see the success that these bigger players have. You get a guy getting
Man, this has been like. Sometimes you think the size is not a factor as much as it's been in the past, but we've seen some big boys drafted here.
Montreal Canadiens clearly identified that this is something that they've always wanted to do.
But yeah, played with Spokane and Kelowna in the WHL this year. He's 6'5", sorry, 200 pounds, beast.
New York Rangers have selected Sean Barnhill from Dubuque of the USHL.
New York Rangers,
Folks, Sean Barnhill going to the New York Rangers.
Sean Barnhill.
Number 3, a defenseman from Dubuque in the USHL. Finished it within the top 10 at 5 different events at the NHL Draft Combine. This kid's an animal.
Yeah, his fitness was off the charts at the combine, and you always like
So
to see that.
stood out at the combine, it sounds like.
Right shot guy. I mean, you know, these guys, and if they have a little bit of
Big physical defenseman, 6'5", right shot, another 6'5", chat. Holy man, this draft has been monstrous.
physical bite to
Unreal. Chat, someone give me the number on how many 6'4", 6'5" defensemen have been picked, or 6'6".
So again, bottom pair defenseman here. I like this pick more than some of the other picks ahead of him. For a defenseman at this size, I think he's got great feet, to be honest with you. And, you know, we'll see where this goes, but defensive zone, 2AD. I think
Carl, thanks for subscribing.
Projection.
Zora, he has not been drafted yet. DM, thanks for streaming. Or thanks for joining. Appreciate it. I was reading your comment. Yeah, Adam's still available.
Lots of the reports say good skater.
Shalina says Leafs need to do something. Well, the Leafs are up, I think, in like 10 picks.
Trouble going. So I don't
They're up again.
training, the development, and obviously being on the ice more. A lot of these kids are great skaters at 18, even though you're that big.
Boris Balabek got drafted to Atlanta several years ago, that big rig, and his skating just, I think he's 7th overall. Couldn't skate.
Oh, yeah. All right, Buffalo Sabres on the clock. The pick's officially in. A very special pick coming up. For more on that, we send it down to
Leafs
the
need to do something.
Bill Daly.
Before Buffalo makes their selection.
What was the trade for the last Montreal 3rd pick?
And meet great
Yeah, we don't have the details, but
Sabres.
they.
Let's go to Buffalo.
Was there a trade? Alex Tuck's making an announcement here.
He was playing for the junior Sabres, and he had a really tragic accident during one of the games and became paralyzed. I've always been in contact with his dad, and then when it happened, I reached
We're talking about a story of a fan
out to see how Greg was doing, and he said,
and a player.
and the Sabres had a really good idea to bring him in after a
Oh, the
game.
junior Sabres player
My teammates and I were able to
got into the accident. Oh,
bring him into to the gym.
I heard about this story.
Show him around and just create a special experience for someone going through a really hard time.
DM, thank you so much for the $3 dono.
Giving them sticks, hanging it was an unbelievable night. I'm excited to give Greg a call today.
Yeah, thank you so much for the dono. Appreciate you big time.
What's up, Greg? How's it going, buddy?
I'm good. How are you?
Big shout out to Greg, man.
Summer been so far?
Positive vibes to Greg, chat.
Buffalo doing PT, rehabbing still, but slowly getting nice weather here.
We wanted to invite you down to the draft experience at One Bill's Drive there.
Yeah, Mello, if you want to rewind, just rewind the stream, Mello. Just rewind the stream when that pick happened. You can see through the progress on this side of the screen. You can see as I've added picks, so you'll be able to see like the 2-minute section of me talking about the Leafs pick.
Sabres, like what they do throughout the draft process, so it'll be a really cool experience. Thank you.
Oh, of course. Thanks for all the support, and hey, keep it up, all right? And tell your dad I said hi as well.
Okay, appreciate it.
Guys, we are 1 subscriber away from 56.5K. Who's going to clutch up? Shout out to Greg. Greg and the boys are going to be making the pick here.
Excited to have Greg Mancy here from the Buffalo Junior Sabres to make our next selection.
With the 71st pick in the 2025 NHL Draft, the Buffalo Sabres are proud to select from Owen Sound, David Bedcowski.
Oh, Bedcowski. I think defenseman. Big defenseman again. From Owen Sound of the OHL. I saw Bedkowski play a little bit this year. I don't know how big he is, but I would guess 6'4" again. Honestly, I remember seeing him on the ice. He's a monster. 6'5". 6'5", chat. Oh my goodness. How many 6'5" guys have been drafted? It's crazy. So Buffalo gets a couple big defensemen. They get Bedkowski and they get Murka in the first round.
Now he can get up on the plane once in a while, but this is a guy here.
6'5", 6'5", 6'5".
He's not going to be the big offensive guy. He does have that.
6'5" into 2025. And we got 56.5, chat. Let's go. Let's go. Closer and closer to 60,000 subscribers. Let's go.
Bedkowski proving to be that guy with Owen Sound right now.
Love his snarl. Absolutely love his snarl. Big right shot D that takes away time and space. But he's in the drill of the opponent all the time. Protects his
Mega, send it at me on Twitter. Send it to me on Twitter if it's a tweet from Instagram.
The Anaheim Ducks have selected Noah Reid from London of the Ontario Hockey League.
Noah Reid. He actually, I don't even think, played that much.
Next selection belongs to the Pittsburgh Penguins.
That's an interesting pick from the Ducks.
At number 73.
Jason, you want to put a bow on David Bedkowski?
Because, yeah, I remember he was playing like 3rd or 4th line for the London Knights, I remember. I think 3rd line. Part of the championship run, so the Ducks had some championship flavor there. Yeah, it's only 6 points in 17 games in the playoffs, so he wasn't a huge factor. I honestly didn't think he was going to get drafted this high.
No problem. But, you know, what he does, like when you're big and you have the snarl that he has, you alleviate pressure internally because people don't come into your space as often. So if he can pounce on a puck, he's going to make the simple play. If it's there, it's fine.
But Noah Reid to the Ducks. So we get some OHL picks back-to-back.
It's a fast game. He's going to have to internally get a little bit quicker and smaller. He'll work at it.
We've had 18 players selected that are 6'5" or taller.
That's crazy. So they just said it.
Yeah. But is that, it's a
That's nuts.
But we're seeing a lot of these Stanley Cup champions, right? They come to the playoffs, these defensemen, big, long, rangy,
Pittsburgh selection.
physical, nasty, right? There's a theme there.
For the smaller players, Marchand's not very big.
2025
There's quite a few players that aren't very big and play that hard
Penguins have
stuff.
selected Charlton Treathaway.
Charlie Treathaway, defenseman. There you go. That's a good pick for Pittsburgh. I had him as a 2nd-round pick, chat. Yep. He had a great tournament. I heard from a lot of people that he was going to be a great pick. That's a great pick for the Penguins in round 3 from what I've heard. And he's not undersized. Good mobility, good shot. 6'1", 6'2". I've heard great things about Charlie. So I think the Penguins are doing really well in day 2 so far.
Falling down into 73, Pittsburgh did a really nice job.
You know what, the draftitis isn't an actual disease, but I kind of felt like he had a little bit of draftitis, and I put it on the scouting.
And the Penguins, after adding some forwards in day 1, chat, they had 2 good defensemen, 2 good right shot defensemen on day 2. So the Penguins are doing well so far.
Great family. Grandpa's been around in the U18.
Yeah, guys, we gotta stop. Just because the big defensemen have been going off the board, we can't keep judging based on size. Because Treatherway is a good defenseman. Luca Romano to the Islanders, good pick. That's another one where I had a second-round talent. Had a great year with the Kitchener Rangers. That's a great pick for the New York Islanders in round 3. So the Islanders are pulling from the OHL with their last, some of their last selections.
I think there were some points in the year where that was impacting him, where you're more worried about the draft than the process of getting through the draft. But one thing you'll notice,
Great pick from the Islanders.
He can move in and out of space quickly. There's no question he can score goals. You see that release is really good.
Isles are having a great draft. This is just like pure skill hands. His hands, I remember watching him with Kitchener this year. His hands are disgusting, chat. I don't know if he's like super short, but I think he's around 5'10", 5'11", which is not short at all, but based on the guys that have been flying off the board, he probably has to beef up a little bit, but I remember watching his hands this year, and he is super skilled. He was a second-round talent for me. And NHL Network's showing it right now, so he is 5'11". He was their 50th ranked prospect. I think I had him in between 50 and 60. And from Brock Otten from McKean's, he says possesses high upside as a goal scorer. So hands, goal scoring. The Islanders get some really good skill here. Shout out to Kale and shout out to Carl for subscribing. Appreciate you guys.
There's a sleeper out here. I gotta throw his name on. Victor Blingsell from Sweden. I love Victor
Blingsell. Bro, Owen Griffin, man. Take Owen Griffin, Toronto.
For a variety of reasons, but keep an eye on that name. He's going to be a bulldog until this draft class.
Good call. I love that. And he was, again, we have the experience to get to the combine and interview a number of players, and his interview was absolutely fascinating. Detroit has made their selection with some vigor.
All right, Detroit's on the clock.
Pick in the 3rd round, the 2025 NHL draft. The Detroit Red Wings have selected Mikhail Pradl.
Pradl! A lot of people had Pradl as a second draft or second round draft prospect. He goes in the 3rd round. The Red Wings get another goalie. So a lot of goalies have been flying off the board in this draft so far. I had some people that I talked to that said Pradl was the 3rd best goalie in this draft. I think this goalie class has been really odd, to be honest.
This isn't a guy that I think is a 3. I think he's a 2. And, you know, athletic, long, lanky, sometimes
6'4", so the size is there. And NHL Network has his projection as a top-notch backup goalie in the NHL.
So these saves that you'll see because of his length, he's fine. But
Sam, thank you so much for subscribing. Yeah, Red Wings, Cameron Schmidt is still available to be drafted. And as I said, the primary reason why he hasn't been drafted yet is because he is 5'7". But he put up well over a point per game in the WHL. Put up like, what, 40 goals? So his production is undeniable. It's just, can you succeed with that kind of size in the National Hockey League is the big question. Not too many guys have. So if he grows another inch or two, 5'9", maybe, right? I think he's one of those players that will probably be picked here in the 3rd or 4th round. And their perspective is it's a flyer. It's a high upside player, but obviously the size is the concern for a lot of people.
Had a good year, but I think they're just looking here to maybe buy some time for Sebastian Cossa and maybe this guy here, 5-6 years down the road.
nice to see Sean Horkoff back to his duties as an executive with the Red Wings.
Blended. Caulfield is 5'8", I believe. I believe Caulfield is 5'8".
I saw her for the first time. She's tall too. Really tall. Oh yeah, see the size.
So again, yeah, I mean, if Cameron Schmidt's 5'8", 5'9", with that production, I think he could be a top 6 forward of the National Hockey League, right? Like it's the risk, but it's the high ceiling pick. Whoever picks Cameron Schmidt at this point, I think is getting a steal potentially because of that potential. Like once you get into the 4th round, take flyers, take those high ceiling players, in my opinion.
Personally, I'm not a sports scientist, so when I go watch them at the combine, I learn a lot about how hard they compete in the tests. I don't care so much about the result. I care where they're going to go from A to Z. Okay, get it done. And then in the meetings themselves, let's be
who was that tiny player who played for Buffalo and Columbus? Nathan Gerby, I think you're referencing. But yeah, Tyler Ennis is another guy for Buffalo that was super short. But I think Gerby was like 5'5", maybe. He was really good, but he was like 5'5", and then Tyler Ennis, maybe 5'7", 5'6". Yeah, I think Nathan Gerby was like 5'5", and he made it to the NHL. But again, I think he would have had a longer career if he was bigger for sure. But there's a trade. The Red Wings are trading their second of the back-to-back picks here.
The Detroit Red Wings have traded pick number 76 in the 2025 NHL draft to the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Blue Jackets trade up.
Number 109 in the 2025 NHL draft, and Columbus's own 4th round pick in the 2026.
Okay, so a 4th round pick next year and a later pick in this draft for the 76th overall. Columbus likes someone here. Is it Cameron Schmidt or is it somebody else on the board?
Moves back to pick 109 as well as getting Columbus's 4th round pick coming up in next year's draft.
Something just came to me. Sam Bennett couldn't do a pull-up at the combine.
Yep. Middleston, and there's been quite a few guys that failed to pull themselves up to the bar, right?
No, he looks okay in the NHL. He's done all right. Big Sammy Bennett, Conn Smythe winner. Jeez.
How's it going, Jose? Good to see you in the chat. Thank you to everyone that's hitting that subscribe button. Jim. Yeah, Owen Griffin's still available, man. I'm telling you, this guy is going to be unreal, man. I'm not saying he's going to be like an elite talent in the National Hockey League, but like I think as like a 3rd or 4th round pick, you got to pick Griffin, man. He was a riser later in the OHL year and then had an unreal playoff run. 29 points in 21 games, 16 goals in that Oshawa Generals run. To me, the 2 best talent players left on the board are Cameron Schmidt and Owen Griffin. And they picked defenseman Malty Vass. I don't know much about this guy. I don't know why they traded up for him. Clearly they like something about him and they didn't want to risk it, I guess.
Simply because of the 10 minutes I've spent with him. And so you like to think that all the work that you've done on the ice, you know what somebody is. That part to me is hugely
so Colorado's on the clock.
Sports science stuff to the pros.
First impression's always a big impact. How about this? Columbus, Jason, hoping Malte Voss makes a big impact on their franchise. Defenseman from the Swedish junior team, or league, I should say, expected to attend Boston University coming up in 2025-2026.
Interesting how many Swedes are coming over to play for some of these schools now, right? The college level, it's truly a world campus for college hockey now, isn't it? 2 AD, not a lot of flash and dash here. Again, super agile and mobile, which gives him a chance, again, to play to an identity. That right there, I like. He's got that fight to him. You know, he gaps up. He kind of went out of his way, but he caught it by surprise, so I'll take it. His recoveries, when I say he's a good skater, he gets to A, from A to B on a straight line very well. Sometimes there's like this little hiccup in his
Adam Bennick is another good pick. Yep, he's another good pick.
Speak for everybody, our viewers. So there's a little room for growth there is what I'm trying.
He's another good potential pick here. We'll see.
He's a 2A guy.
I think he'd probably be. I had him going in the 2nd round, I believe. Adam Bennick, late in the 2nd round, so he's still available here in the 3rd. Tyler Hopkins would be another shout that I'd give it. Let's see, Avalanche.
The Colorado Avalanche have selected Francesco
Deleche.
And Hockey East.
So the Avs going out and forget defenseman Francesco Deleche, UMass Amherst of the NCAA.
I don't know a lot about him,
This
but
kid passed over in the last 2 NHL drafts, so his moment finally comes. Good things.
yeah,
come to those who
I think he's. I was about to say I don't really recognize the name, but I think he's probably either an overager or an older player, and it looks like he is.
drafted by Seattle in round number 2.
Francesco Deleche is 20 years old. Had a good year with UMass after playing at the BCHL. He gets drafted in the 3rd round. I'm surprised they're reaching with a player that's been passed on twice in the 3rd round. But clearly they have some confidence in the player and want to own his rights. A little surprising for me, though.
How was it as you got ready for today?
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't be happier. It's an honor. I'm super thankful that they believe in me and that I'm finally drafted now at the Kraken.
Blake Fiddler, 2nd-round pick for the Seattle Kraken's a great pick.
You think that maybe you're going
On the clock, Utah Mammoth at 78.
Me and my dad always say is, the draft doesn't really matter. He was undrafted.
Right.
It doesn't matter when you go, but it's the work you put in after. So I'm just really excited to get going.
How was your dad? I mean, if hockey fans know your dad, Bernie played in the league a long time. How was that relationship, and how has that helped you? I would sure it's helped you quite a bit because it gives you a little edge. He has insight, and you have insight.
All right, we still got 800 in the chat. You guys are amazing. The fact that we're moving closer and closer to the 4th round. Thank you again, guys, for hanging out with me here. I'll probably end the stream at some point in the 4th round or sooner than that. We'll see how I'm feeling here, but I'm definitely hanging out for a bit longer. And if you guys have any questions for me, definitely ask in the chat. And if you haven't subscribed yet, it's free to do so. So I hope you guys give this channel a chance. I will be live all day for the NHL Free Agent Day on July 1st. So I hope you guys join for that stream. It's going to be a big one. It's always one of the biggest streams on this channel. Bills fans, 78, 83. Thanks for subscribing. Oh, LJ Mooney's still available. That's a good show.
We played the Thunderbirds last year, so really excited.
Yeah. Did you have any idea that Seattle would be the team to take you? Did you have a
What moves do I see the Caps making in terms of trades? It's tough. I feel like the Caps have a full roster. They have the defense group they want. They have the goaltending tandem they want. They have a deep forward group with young prospects upcoming. They really don't need to do a whole lot. But maybe if they wanted to trade a couple of their top 6 forwards for like a massive upgrade, they could do that, maybe.
You have different options now. Is the plan just
But yeah, with Mangiapane off the board, like maybe they do go for a Brock Besser. Maybe. For a bit of an upgrade on that right wing spot.
Continue building, getting stronger, getting better at all parts of my game, and then plans to.
Matt H, I love what Nashville's done. The Brady Martin pick is a little risky for me because for me, I was so much higher on Porter Martone, James Haggins, and Jake O'Brien. So that's where I'm a little bit skeptical of what Nashville did with the Brady Martin. But I'll say this, Nashville's trying to build a certain type of team, and that's what I respect. So Brady Martin, you look at like the other guys that they have, whether it's Surin or they look at, I talked about Zachary LaRue earlier, Schaefer, guys like that. Reed Schaefer, not Matthew Schaefer. Cooper Simpson to the Boston Bruins and Stefan Hawk. All right, let me add that. That was a quick one from the Boston Bruins. So the Bruins go to the high school crop.
He stayed in high school all 4 years, but he did go to Treacy at the end of both his junior and senior year. When he got to
Cooper Simpson to the Boston Bruins.
he had 7 goals in 9 games. So that goal scoring from high school translated into the USHL. That's a big jump. From high school hockey in Minnesota to the USHL.
Yeah, it looks like Simpson's got a pretty good shot, so that could be a good sneaky pick for the Boston Bruins in round 3. 6 foot. Brock Otten from McKean says has one of the best shots in this draft class. A highly creative and skilled puck handler. Ooh. So in high school, in 31 games, he had 49 goals. Regardless of what level that is, they're still competitive players, and he scores 49 goals in 31 games. That's pretty nuts.
I always wonder, like from a scout's perspective, from a coach perspective, when you have that kid from Minnesota, and it so often happens where they're playing high school and then they go to the USHL, how do you feel about that playing 2 different levels in a year?
Hey, YouTube Gaming Center, just chill, all right? Let's chill in the chat, guys. I want you guys to be in the streams more, but let's just be positive. We want good vibes and good culture in the chat. The Flames, who do they pick? I didn't hear that. The Habs have back-to-back picks after the Flames, so that'll be curious to see what they do with that.
after the game, all that stuff is totally different.
Phillips,
So my preference,
defenseman.
to answer your question, is that he challenges himself in the USHL.
Not too
either in
familiar with
the
his
fall,
game.
At the end of the season, it goes back where, sometimes they play in the Super League or whatever early.
All right, so Montreal has back-to-back coming up.
I will say that it's a big talking point.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's
And then it's Edmonton, and then Pittsburgh back-to-back, and then Toronto. So correct me if I'm wrong, Chad. I think this is Edmonton's first pick. I believe that's what we were watching out for.
Yeah, awesome. So, really interesting backstory about this guy. A gift from God. That's what Maceo means. And so, being named that, I think.
Did I just hear them say Pickford? Did Montreal pick, if they pick Pickford, that's a great pick. Oh, Bryce Pickford, that's a spectacular pick from the Montreal Canadiens. He got passed on last year, but two-time champion at the junior level, and I think this is a defenseman that's got a lot of potential. He looked really steady, and he was one of the most improved players in the WHL this year. That's a great pick for Montreal, especially at the spot that it is. They picked Bryce Pickford. I had Bryce Pickford going into the second round. I scouted him a bit. That's a great pick for Montreal.
I think this is a good pick here for a guy who can play that mean, physical, nasty game.
All right, Boogs, how about the Habs just taking Bryce Pickford here, a defenseman out of Medicine Hat. Pickford's 13 playoff goals. That's the most by defenseman in WHL modern history.
Sammy is giving me the tap because in our little pregame coffee meeting here, I had this kid highlighted. So he's 19 years old. They don't all mature at the same timeline, right? And what a great year Bryce Pickford had. He's a big part of the reason why the Medicine Hat Tigers are.
All right, so Bryce Pickford, 6-foot right shot defenseman. His NHL production right now is third pairing, but he was definitely a late bloomer, so he might have even more growth in his game. But yeah, watching him in the run this year, definitely looked like he had a lot more offensive instinct for sure. Did Joel Hofer extend long term? Let's see.
Okay, he's been through the draft before, and still you're not giving up on the year, right? So you're watching him in the playoffs, you're watching him in the Memorial Cup, and there's enough
Yes.
in high leverage situations, high leverage.
Joel Hofer signs long term. That's a great deal for the Blues. Oh, sorry, not long term, short term. I don't know why I said long term. Blues signed Joel Hofer's short term deal, 2-year extension, 3.4 AAV. Tommy Lafreniere for the Oilers. And Habs went goalie with Radkoff. I did not have him ranked in my goalie ranking, so I don't know much about him. But now we're going to get into that category of some sneaky guys that we probably have not scouted. Pickford's a great pick, though, for Montreal. And Tommy Lafreniere. But, let's see. Pittsburgh's back-to-back on the clock.
Super skilled. If you look at his statistics there, Pittsburgh Penguins was rebuilding this year, right? They were just okay. Cam was just coming through a situation.
See who the Pens pick here.
Biggest guy, he plays not so much of a light game. He's an in-and-out guy with skill. In and out with skill, quick strike skill. He finds pucks in people's feet and traffic, and I think he's going to have a chance. He's a playmaker on the power play. I do this off the top of my head. I don't have it in front of me. I think he had 14 tucks on the power play, so it's somewhere in that range. Good pick.
Gabriel Daigle to the Penguins.
Skill attribute, and he can add weight and round out the rest of his game. How about the Pittsburgh Penguins?
I think Tommy Lafreniere had a really good year for Kamloops. I forget the production he had, but I don't think it was a point per game, but I think it was up there for sure.
In 2022, they're from the same hometown. Flower gave Dag his number and said, "Reach out anytime, kid."
Sorry, his pronunciation is Gabriel Dag. 6'4", 210 pounds. Projection is a depth goalie.
The one thing I would say is that when I say in a scouting report that he sits tall in his butterfly to take advantage of his size advantage, there's some goalies, when they're big, they lean back.
So some goalies flying off the board here in the fourth round. There were so many high ceiling goalies guys selected in the first and second round that now we're getting even more in the third round, which I'm kind of surprised. I feel like it's not really necessary, but it is what it is. I guess everyone wants to add a goalie to their prospect pool.
Can't teach athleticism. He's got that in spades. It's just gonna take some time.
Is he good in the video game? Is that why? Did Kyle Dubas go to NHL 25?
Penny Watt taught me this, and I was amazed at this. We were just around the net at one practice, and I'm just chatting with Patty, and he was in the talking mood, so he's get down on his knees, and he goes shoot some pucks at me. So
All right, so Pittsburgh's back on the clock, and then it's Toronto.
I want you to go top shelf. You know, you're scared as a coach. You don't want to hit him in the neck or hit him in the mass. He said, no. Go up top, go up top. And all he did, I saw net. Yeah, all he did was lean his shoulder forward like this.
Yeah, Zeta, we'll see what Toronto does. Please, Toronto. Owen Griffin, bro. I'm telling you, for a third-round selection, Owen Griffin is a steal. Please do not overthink it. They watched him this year playing with Ben Danford. They should be selecting Owen Griffin 1,000%. Third-round pick, are you kidding me? You should be selecting Owen Griffin and partying tonight. Bro, I need to call someone from the Leafs scouting. Like, please, do not screw this up, man. Owen Griffin, man. He's not even undersized. He's like 5'10", 5'11". Please draft Owen Griffin, Toronto. Please.
Great point right there. Love it. Giving out trade secrets for the goalie union. Yeah, why not see that, right? Yeah.
Flower was giving out his phone number for crying out loud.
Oh my goodness, right? Why not? Well, these kids hopefully hearing their names called pretty soon. We're going to take a timeout.
Yeah, there's still quite a few guys that are in the top 100 because the top 100 prospects are in the building. What's up, Gibson?
Introducing the first superhero-inspired hockey trading card set, the 2025 DC Animation crossover.
Let's see. Yeah, Minka, send it to my personal account on X if you want me to read it. That's what I'm logged in on my PC. What's up, Brent? Hey, Joel Fletcher, appreciate it. Yeah, guys, this is an NHL channel, right? So if you're a hockey fan, this is the place to be. I hope you guys subscribe. A lot more videos coming up. I hope you guys check out my videos. I had a rant about the draft format last night, so I hope you guys check out that video. Definitely a conversation around the league right now, so check that out. And yeah, just a couple different things that I'll be posting, and I'll be live all day on NHL Free Agency Day, July 1st. Oh my God, Vegas traded up to the Pittsburgh pick. They better not get Owen Griffin here. I'll lose my mind. Maybe again they're going for a value pick and they're going Cameron Schmidt. All right, so Vegas is up and then it's Toronto, unless Toronto trades.
Oh yeah, you're looking at one of the newest reasons to love Red Lobster. New seafood boils, turning Crab Fest into a crab feast. That's the look of real happiness. Served daily only at Red Lobster.
Hey, it's your gut instinct. Always one step ahead. I know what's up and who's up.
All right.
So next time the game's on and it feels game-changing, bet your way with Betway.
I'm a hot sleeper. First I kick the covers off, then the pillows.
Then me.
A cooling mattress can help. Let's find you the perfect one.
Hey Canada, stay cool this summer. Get 25% off almost everything during the Sleep Cool.
Jeff, thank you so much for subscribing. Big shout out to Jeff.
With the same time and care for over 140
All right, let me check it out, Minka.
So we wondered if anything else from back then had aged as well as us. It turns out that nothing ages as well as Balderson's Canadian craftsmanship.
With Prime Day coming July 8th through the 11th,
Minka.
this is a deal away.
This is inappropriate out here. Mateo Nobert is the pick for Vegas. Alright. Mateo Nobert. So the pick was Vegas acquires pick 85 from Pens for picks 91 and 154. So Pitts was like, sure, why not? Okay, I'm actually serious, Toronto. Don't screw around. Owen Griffin here, man. I could not be more serious with you, chat. Guliam, thank you so much for subscribing. Owen Griffin, bro. It's right there for the taking. Do not screw this up, please.
Welcome back to the 2025 Upper Deck NHL Draft Round
Please.
Vegas making their pick. We'll tell you about that in just a second. Listen into this one.
2025 NHL
Come on, Leafs.
The Toronto Maple Leafs select Tyler Hopkins.
Tyler Hopkins is a good pick, though. That's a good pick, though. I like that pick. I like that pick. Honestly, I like that pick. I would have preferred Owen Griffin, but Tyler Hopkins is a good pick. Got a great year with Kingston. I think his potential is very good.
I call him a power play specialist, guys. So it reminds me a little bit of like a Jonathan Marchessault type.
I like that. I like that. I would have preferred Owen Griffin for sure. I'm not going to lose my mind over that pick. I had Tyler Hopkins as a late second-round pick.
You know, he's not a heavy player by any stretch of the imagination, but he's got quickness and spurts, and he's an opportunist, I guess, is what I would say. And you know that speaks to his hockey sense, right? He takes advantage of his opportunities and produces. So you're in that area of the draft.
Well, I made my suggestion. Owen Griffin should have been the pick, but I like Tyler Hopkins for a third-round pick.
Look at those unis, the Christmas uni.
Tis the season. All right, Sammy, let's talk Tyler Hopkins here at number 86, a center from Kingston, out of the OHL. Huge fan of
Yeah, blended. Hopkins is good. He was a high ceiling OHL pick, I believe, as well.
Jersey, call the Snoop Dogg. He's probably in town. Maybe you could have a little dinner with the Snoop Dogg. But you know, you talk about dreams becoming a reality. Who's his favorite team growing up? The Toronto Maple Leafs. How cool is this for Tyler?
Yeah, favorite team growing up was the Leafs. So
he's a skilled guy. He's best of friends with Matthew Schaefer. So I'm sure
I will say though, chat, and again, I'm just telling you the playoff. I'm always about the playoff mentality. Owen Griffin had 29 points in 21 games, 16 goals. I know I sound like a broken record. Tyler Hopkins only had 5 assists in 11 games. So it gives me that PTSD of guys that don't show up in the playoffs, right? But obviously, Oshawa Generals they were a much better team than Kingston overall, right? Like the Generals had so many NHL prospects. Anyways, guys, LA just got Christian Epperson. That's a great pick. He got skipped out on last year, but he had an unreal year with Saginaw, well over a point per game. Emmanuel, thank you so much for subscribing, and Ace, thanks for the kind words. I know we have 800 people, guys, and the stream's been going really well, but I think I'm going to end the stream there, guys. I've already delayed this lunch that I want to attend to with some buddies, and it's my birthday in a few days coming up, so we're celebrating. We're just having a get-together tonight, so thank you guys so much for coming to the stream tonight. I will be live all day on Free Agent Day, July 1st, so I hope you guys join that stream, and I will be posting some videos later this weekend, probably tomorrow. Maybe I'll do a recap, but a lot of live streams coming up, so I hope you guys join back for more live streams and videos. Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet. Like I said, it is free. You don't got to sign up for anything. It is free to do so. So it supports a hockey channel on YouTube. There's only so many hockey channels on YouTube to support. So subscribe, like, comment, notification bell, all that good stuff. Thank you so much to everyone that joined today. And I hope to see you guys on the next video and stream. All right. Have a great one, guys. Talk soon.